What's going on, everyone? Tonight, we're diving deep into the dusty, mysterious, and frankly mind-bending world of archaeology. We're talking about the discoveries that have left even the most brilliant scientists scratching their heads, the artifacts that defy explanation, and the ancient sites that challenge everything we think we know about human history. These aren't just old rocks and broken pottery, these are genuine mysteries that have stumped researchers for decades, sometimes centuries. Before we begin this incredible journey through time, take a moment to hit that like button if you're ready to have your mind blown. And don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy diving into the unexplained. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from, and what archaeological mystery has always fascinated you the most. It's amazing to connect with fellow mystery lovers from around the globe. Now, dim those lights, get comfortable, maybe grab a warm drink, and let's embark on this extraordinary expedition through 50 of the most perplexing archaeological puzzles our world has ever produced. Because once we start digging into these mysteries, there's no telling what we might uncover. Picture this: you're standing in the scorching desert of southern Peru, squinting against the blazing sun, looking down at what appears to be massive drawings etched into the earth itself. But these aren't just any drawings, they're so enormous that you can't even see their full shape from ground level. You need to be hundreds of feet in the air to appreciate what you're looking at. Welcome to the Nazca Lines, one of archaeology's most enduring puzzles. Created sometime between 500 BCE and 500 CE by the Nazca people, these geoglyphs cover an area of nearly 200 square miles in the Nazca Desert. We're talking about over 800 straight lines, 300 geometric figures, and 70 animal and plant designs. Some of these lines stretch for miles, perfectly straight, as if drawn with a cosmic ruler. The spider measures 150 feet long. The condor spans 440 feet. The monkey reaches 310 feet across. But here's what makes them truly mysterious. The Nazca people had no way to fly. They had no aerial perspective. So how did they create these massive, precise designs that can only be fully appreciated from the sky? Some researchers suggest they used a grid system, carefully planned on a smaller scale, and then enlarged. Others propose that the Nazca people might have actually achieved limited flight using primitive hot air balloons, though no direct evidence supports this theory. The purpose remains equally baffling. Were they astronomical calendars, religious ceremonies, messages to the gods, landing strips for ancient aircraft, as some fringe theorists suggest? Despite decades of study using satellite imagery, ground-penetrating radar, and advanced archaeological techniques, the Nazca Lines continue to guard their secrets. They stand as a testament to human achievement that we still can't fully comprehend. But massive desert drawings are just the beginning. Sometimes the most puzzling discoveries come in the smallest packages. Deep in the mountains of Colombia, in pre-Columbian tombs, archaeologists have discovered hundreds of small golden figurines that look remarkably like modern aircraft. These aren't crude representations. They feature swept-back wings, vertical tail fins, and aerodynamic designs that wouldn't look out of place in a modern aviation manual. The Quimbaya artifacts, as they're known, date back over 1,000 years, created by the Quimbaya culture between 300 and 1600 CE. Most archaeologists classify them as stylized representations of birds, insects, or fish. But aeronautical engineers who've examined these artifacts tell a different story. They point out features that seem specifically designed for flight: triangular wings positioned for stability, rudder-like tail fins, and bodies that follow principles of aerodynamics. Some researchers have even built scale models of these artifacts, and found that, with the addition of engines, they actually fly quite well. The proportions, they argue, are too precise to be accidental. If ancient cultures had no concept of powered flight, why do these figurines incorporate design elements that only make sense in an aeronautical context? Skeptics argue that we're reading modern concepts into ancient art, that these are simply stylized animals viewed through our contemporary lens. But the question remains, if these civilizations were only representing the creatures they saw around them, why do these particular figurines look so distinctly mechanical, so deliberately engineered for flight? The mystery deepens when we consider that similar artifacts have been found across various South American cultures. suggesting either widespread trade of these objects or independent development of remarkably similar designs. Either possibility raises intriguing questions about ancient knowledge and capabilities. Moving from the skies to the seas, we encounter another puzzle that has maritime archaeologists completely baffled. In 1900, sponge divers off the Greek island of Antikythera discovered what they initially thought was a shipwreck full of typical ancient artifacts: bronze and marble statues, pottery, jewelry. But among these treasures lay something that would revolutionize our understanding of ancient technology. The Antikythera mechanism, as it came to be known, is a bronze device roughly the size of a shoebox, filled with intricate gears, dials, and inscriptions. For decades, it sat in a museum, its purpose unknown. It wasn't until the 1950s that researchers began to understand what they were looking at. An ancient computer, created around 100 BCE, capable of predicting the positions of the sun, moon, and planets with remarkable accuracy. This device contains at least 37 meshing bronze gears, a level of mechanical sophistication that historians didn't believe existed until the development of astronomical clocks in medieval Europe. Over 1,000 years later, it could predict solar and lunar eclipses, track the 4-year cycle of the Olympic Games, and even account for the irregular orbit of the moon. The implications are staggering. If the ancient Greeks possessed this level of technological sophistication, what else were they capable of? How many other advanced devices might have been lost to time? The Antikythera mechanism suggests that ancient civilizations achieved heights of scientific understanding that we're only now beginning to appreciate. Recent CT scans have revealed even more complexity within the device, including inscriptions that read like an ancient user's manual. Researchers estimate that the complete mechanism might have contained over 70 gears, making it more complex than any known ancient device by orders of magnitude. Yet we found only one. Was this unique, or were such devices more common than we imagine? The mystery isn't just about the technology itself, but about the knowledge required to create it. Understanding planetary motion at this level requires centuries of careful observation and mathematical sophistication. It suggests that ancient Greek science was far more advanced than previously believed, raising questions about what other knowledge might have been lost when the Library of Alexandria burned. But technological mysteries are just one category of archaeological puzzles. Sometimes the most perplexing discoveries are about scale and logistics. How do you move stones weighing hundreds of tons without modern machinery? This question becomes particularly pressing when we examine the construction of ancient megalithic sites around the world. At Baalbek in modern-day Lebanon, the Romans built a temple complex on a foundation of massive stone blocks. 3 of these blocks, known as the trilithon, weigh approximately 800 tons each. That's 1.6 million pounds per stone. To put this in perspective, modern construction cranes typically max out at around 20,000 pounds. Even our largest mobile cranes today would struggle with such weights. But the mystery deepens. In the nearby quarry lies an even larger stone block, the stone of the pregnant woman, weighing an estimated 1,000 tons. It appears to have been quarried and prepared for transport, but never moved. Next to it lies another block, possibly even larger. These stones were cut with such precision that you can't slide a piece of paper between their joints when assembled. How did ancient engineers plan to move these massive blocks? Some theories suggest they used an enormous ramp system with thousands of workers and elaborate pulley mechanisms. Others propose that they might have used a technique involving rolling the stones on logs, though the sheer weight would crush most wood. Still others wonder if they possessed knowledge of counterweight systems or mechanical advantage that we've lost. The precision of the cutting is equally mysterious. These aren't rough-hewn blocks. They're cut to tolerances that would be impressive even by modern standards, with perfectly flat surfaces and precise angles. The tools required for such work would need to be incredibly advanced, yet we found no evidence of machinery capable of such precision in the ancient world. Similar questions arise at other megalithic sites. The largest stones at Stonehenge weigh up to 50 tons and were transported from quarries over 150 miles away. The builders of Puma Punku in Bolivia somehow cut and fitted andesite blocks so precisely that they form complex 3-dimensional puzzles without the use of mortar. At Sacsayhuaman in Peru, massive stones are fitted together so perfectly that not even a knife blade can slip between them. Each of these sites represents a triumph of ancient engineering that we struggle to fully explain. They suggest levels of organization, planning, and technical capability that challenge our assumptions about ancient civilizations. Were these achievements the result of techniques we've forgotten, or did ancient peoples possess knowledge that we've yet to rediscover? But impressive stonework is just one type of archaeological mystery. Sometimes the puzzles involve artifacts that seem to be from the wrong time period entirely. These out-of-place artifacts, or O-parts as they're sometimes called, challenge our understanding of technological development and historical timelines. In 1936, near Baghdad, Iraq, archaeologist Wilhelm Koenig discovered clay jars that appeared to be ancient batteries. These Baghdad batteries, dating to around 250 BCE, consist of copper cylinders inside clay vessels, with iron rods suspended in the center. When filled with an acidic solution like vinegar or lemon juice, they produce a small electrical current. The discovery raises fascinating questions. Did ancient Mesopotamians understand electricity? If so, what did they use it for? Some researchers suggest these devices might have been used for electroplating jewelry, depositing thin layers of gold or silver onto base metals. Others propose they might have had ritual or medicinal purposes, perhaps delivering mild electrical shocks as a form of therapy. Skeptics argue that these objects might not be batteries at all, but rather storage vessels for sacred scrolls, with the metal components serving as preservation elements. However, experiments have shown that these devices do function as batteries, capable of producing voltage comparable to modern-day A batteries. The mystery deepens when we consider similar finds. In Egypt, researchers have discovered what appear to be ancient light bulbs depicted in hieroglyphs at the Dendera temple. These carvings show elongated, bulb-like objects connected to cables and boxes that look remarkably like electrical equipment. Could ancient Egyptians have understood principles of electricity thousands of years before we thought such knowledge existed? Even more puzzling are the Dorchester pot and similar artifacts. In 1851, during blasting operations at Meeting House Hill in Dorchester, Massachusetts, workers discovered a metallic vessel embedded in solid rock. The pot appeared to be made of zinc and silver alloy, decorated with intricate floral designs. Geological dating suggested the rock was 100,000 years old, far predating any known advanced human civilization. Similar anomalous artifacts have been reported worldwide. A nail found in a block of coal dated to 300 million years ago, a hammer discovered in rock formations supposedly 140 million years old, a metallic sphere found in a rock layer dated to 2.8 billion years ago. While many of these finds have been debunked or their dating questioned, they raise intriguing questions about the completeness of our historical record. Could advanced civilizations have existed much earlier than we believe? Are these artifacts evidence of time travelers, ancient aliens, or simply misidentified natural formations? Most archaeologists remain skeptical, pointing out that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence and that many OE parts can be explained through natural processes or contamination of archaeological layers. But the mystery isn't just about individual artifacts. Sometimes entire civilizations seem to appear and disappear with remarkable suddenness, leaving behind evidence of sophisticated knowledge that seems to develop overnight. Take the Maya, whose astronomical calculations were accurate to within minutes across thousands of years, yet who supposedly had no understanding of the wheel for transportation. The Maya long count calendar is a masterpiece of mathematical precision, tracking cycles of time spanning over 5,000 years with remarkable accuracy. Their predictions of eclipses, planetary movements, and celestial events rival modern computer calculations. They understood the concept of zero independently of old-world mathematicians and developed one of the most sophisticated writing systems in the ancient Americas. Yet according to conventional archaeology, Maya civilization emerged relatively suddenly around 2000 BCE, developing writing, mathematics, and astronomy at a pace that seems almost impossible. How does a civilization leap from basic agriculture to complex mathematical concepts in such a short time? Where did this knowledge come from? Similar questions arise with other ancient civilizations. The Sumerians of Mesopotamia appeared around 300 and 500 BCE with fully developed writing, mathematics, astronomy, and urban planning. They understood sophisticated principles of engineering, created the first known schools, and developed legal codes that influenced law for millennia. Yet there's little evidence of gradual development leading to these achievements. These civilizations often possessed knowledge that seems almost prophetic. The ancient Egyptians aligned their pyramids to specific stars with precision that requires understanding of stellar movement across centuries. The Antikythera mechanism suggests Greeks understood planetary motion in ways that wouldn't be matched until Copernicus. Aboriginal Australians preserved oral histories of sea level changes that scientists have verified occurred over 10,000 years ago. How did ancient peoples acquire such detailed understanding of long-term natural processes? Did they have access to knowledge sources that we're unaware of? Were they better observers of natural phenomena than we give them credit for, or did they inherit wisdom from even earlier, unknown civilizations? But precise knowledge isn't the only mystery surrounding ancient civilizations. Sometimes, the puzzles involve massive undertakings that seem to serve no practical purpose. Take the underground city of Derinkuyu in Turkey. Discovered in 1963 when a homeowner renovating his basement broke through a wall and found a hidden room. What they discovered was astonishing. An underground complex extending 18 levels deep, reaching depths of 280 feet. This wasn't just a simple shelter. Derinkuyu could house up to 20,000 people, complete with kitchens, stables, chapels, schools, and even a wine cellar. The city included sophisticated ventilation systems with over 15,000 shafts, ensuring fresh air circulation throughout all levels. The engineering is remarkable. The ventilation system prevents smoke and cooking odors from accumulating, while multiple entrance points could be sealed with massive stone doors from the inside. There are narrow passages designed to allow defenders to pick off invaders one by one, and complex water systems that provided fresh water to all levels. But here's the mystery. When was it built, and why? Archaeological evidence suggests construction began in the 8th century BCE, but the techniques and planning required suggest much more advanced engineering knowledge than typically attributed to that period. Some levels appear much older than others, suggesting construction over many centuries by different civilizations. More puzzling is the purpose. While conventional archaeology suggests it was built as protection against Arab raids, the scale seems enormous for such a specific threat. Why build a city capable of housing 20,000 people underground? What kind of danger would require such extreme measures? And how did ancient engineers plan and execute such a massive undertaking without modern surveying and construction equipment? Derinkuyu isn't unique. Over 200 underground cities have been discovered in the same region of Turkey, connected by tunnels stretching for miles. Some are even larger than Derinkuyu. This suggests a civilization-wide effort to move significant populations underground, an undertaking that would require enormous resources and coordination. The sophistication of these underground complexes raises questions about the technological capabilities of their builders. The precision of the rock cutting, the complexity of the ventilation systems, and the scale of the undertaking all suggest advanced engineering knowledge. Yet we have little evidence of the civilization that created them or the specific threats that necessitated such extreme defensive measures. Moving from underground mysteries to those hidden in plain sight, we encounter some of archaeology's most visible yet unexplained puzzles. Across the globe, ancient cultures created massive stone circles, alignments, and monuments that required enormous effort to construct yet whose purposes remain enigmatic. Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, discovered in the 1990s, has revolutionized our understanding of prehistoric civilization, dating to around 9600 BCE. It predates Stonehenge by about 6,000 years and was built before the supposed invention of agriculture, pottery, or writing. The site consists of massive T-shaped pillars, some weighing up to 16 tons, arranged in circles and decorated with intricate carvings of animals. The implications are staggering. According to conventional archaeology, the people who built Göbekli Tepe were hunter-gatherers who had not yet developed farming or permanent settlements, yet they somehow organized the labor force necessary to quarry, transport, and erect these massive stones, then decorated them with sophisticated artistic designs requiring advanced stoneworking techniques. The site shows evidence of deliberate burial around 8000 BCE. Tons of soil were hauled in to completely cover the stone circles, preserving them for millennia. Why would a civilization invest enormous effort in creating these monuments only to bury them? Was this ritual abandonment, or were they hiding the site from some threat? The animal carvings are equally mysterious. They depict creatures with remarkable accuracy and artistic skill, suggesting detailed knowledge of animal anatomy and behavior. Some show animals that weren't native to the region, raising questions about how far these ancient peoples traveled or what knowledge they possessed about distant lands. Similar questions arise at other megalithic sites. The Carnac stones in France consist of over 3,000 standing stones arranged in precise alignments stretching for miles. Some alignments point to specific astronomical events, but others seem to follow no discernible pattern. The effort required to create these alignments was enormous, yet their purpose remains unclear. In Britain, stone circles dot the landscape, each unique yet following similar design principles. Ivory, the largest stone circle in the world, encloses an area of 28 acres and required moving stones weighing up to 100 tons. The effort involved suggests these monuments held enormous significance for their builders, yet we can only guess at their true purpose. The global nature of these megalithic monuments is particularly intriguing. Similar stone circles and alignments appear on virtually every continent, created by cultures that supposedly had no contact with each other. Were these independent inventions, or do they reflect shared knowledge or practices that spread across the ancient world? But megalithic monuments aren't the only structures that puzzle archaeologists. Sometimes the mysteries involve entire cities that seem to appear without precedent, displaying urban planning and architectural sophistication that rivals modern standards. Çatalhöyük in Turkey, dating to around 750 A, was one of the world's first cities, housing up to 10,000 people at its peak. What makes it extraordinary isn't just its age, but its urban design. The city had no streets, houses were built wall to wall, and residents entered through holes in their roofs. This created a unique urban environment where the rooftops served as the city's main thoroughfares. The sophistication of the urban planning is remarkable. Houses had sophisticated ventilation systems, wall paintings that rival modern art, and evidence of proto-industrial activities, including metalworking and textile production. The city shows evidence of social equality rare in ancient settlements, with similar house sizes and burial practices regardless of apparent social status. But how did hunter-gatherer societies develop such advanced urban planning concepts? The transition from nomadic lifestyle to permanent settlements typically takes centuries of gradual development. Yet Çatalhöyük appears to spring up almost overnight, with fully developed urban systems and sophisticated social organization. The art found in Çatalhöyük is equally mysterious. Wall paintings show complex scenes including what appears to be a volcanic eruption with a city beneath it. Some researchers suggest this might be the first landscape painting in human history, depicting the nearby Hasan Dağ volcano. If true, it demonstrates sophisticated artistic concepts thousands of years before such art was thought to exist. Even more puzzling are the burial practices. Residents buried their dead beneath the floors of their houses, often removing skulls for separate treatment. Some skulls show evidence of plastering and painting, suggesting ancestor veneration practices that wouldn't be out of place in much later civilizations. How did these early urban dwellers develop such complex spiritual and artistic concepts? The suddenness of Çatalhöyük's appearance raises questions about the sources of its sophisticated urban planning. Did the knowledge come from even earlier, unknown civilizations? Was there a rapid spread of urban concepts across the ancient world that we don't yet understand? The site challenges our assumptions about the linear development of human civilization. But urban planning mysteries pale in comparison to some of archaeology's most baffling discoveries. Artifacts and structures that seem to demonstrate knowledge far beyond what we attribute to their creators. The precision of ancient stonework, in particular, often exceeds what we can achieve with modern tools. At Pumapunku in Bolivia, part of the larger Tiwanaku complex, ancient builders created stone structures of almost impossible precision. The andesite blocks are cut to tolerances of less than a millimeter, with complex angles and interlocking shapes that form three-dimensional puzzles. Some blocks have perfectly straight channels cut through them, requiring tools capable of cutting one of the hardest stones on Earth with remarkable precision. The precision extends to the planning. Each stone appears to have been cut to exact specifications before transport to the site. This suggests the entire structure was designed in advance, with detailed plans that accounted for how each piece would fit together. Such planning requires sophisticated mathematical knowledge and engineering capabilities. What makes this even more remarkable is that Pumapunku sits at an altitude of over 12,000 feet, where the thin air makes physical labor extremely difficult. The nearest quarry for the andesite is 10 miles away, requiring transport of multi-ton blocks across difficult terrain. How did ancient builders accomplish such precise work under such challenging conditions? Similar precision appears at other ancient sites. The Great Pyramid of Giza is aligned to true north with an accuracy of 3/60th of a degree, more precise than most modern buildings. The stones are fitted so perfectly that you can't insert a knife blade between them, despite some blocks weighing over 15 tons. At Sacsayhuaman in Peru, massive limestone blocks weighing up to 200 tons are fitted together with perfect precision. The blocks have complex angles and curved surfaces that interlock in 3 dimensions. Creating such precision with modern tools would be challenging. Achieving it with supposedly primitive tools seems nearly impossible. The cutting techniques required for such precision remain mysterious. Some blocks show evidence of being cut with tools that left perfectly smooth surfaces, while others have channels that appear to have been melted rather than cut. Researchers have found evidence of vitrification at some sites, suggesting temperatures high enough to melt stone. Could ancient civilizations have possessed cutting and heating technologies that we've lost? Some researchers point to evidence of advanced metallurgy, including the ability to create alloys that we struggle to reproduce today. The Delhi iron pillar in India, for example, is made of iron so pure that it hasn't rusted in over 2,000 years, despite being exposed to the elements. But technological mysteries aren't limited to stonework and metallurgy. Some of archaeology's most perplexing discoveries involve knowledge that seems impossibly advanced for its time period. Ancient maps, for instance, sometimes show geographical features that weren't supposed to be known until centuries later. The Piri Reis map, created in 1513 by Ottoman Admiral Piri Reis, shows the coastlines of Europe, Africa, and the Americas with remarkable accuracy. What makes it extraordinary is that it appears to show the coastline of Antarctica, which wasn't officially discovered until 1820. Even more puzzling, the map seems to show Antarctica's coastline as it would appear without ice cover. Knowledge that wouldn't be available until the 20th century when ice-penetrating radar allowed us to map the continent's actual land surface. Piri Reis claimed his map was based on earlier sources, including maps used by Christopher Columbus and ancient charts dating back to the time of Alexander the Great. If true, this suggests that ancient civilizations possessed geographical knowledge far beyond what we credit them with. How could ancient map makers know the shape of continents they supposedly never reached? The Orientaeus Phineas map of 1531 shows similar impossible knowledge, depicting Antarctica with rivers, mountains, and coastlines that match modern satellite imagery of the continent beneath the ice. The Mercator map of 1569 shows Antarctica divided by a strait that wasn't discovered until 1958. These maps suggest access to geographical knowledge that shouldn't have existed for centuries. Similar mysteries appear in ancient astronomy. The Dogon people of Mali have traditional knowledge of the Sirius star system that includes details about Sirius B, a white dwarf star that's invisible to the naked eye and wasn't discovered by Western astronomy until 1862. They knew about its 50-year orbital period, its dense nature, and other characteristics that require telescopic observation to verify. How did the Dogon acquire such detailed astronomical knowledge without telescopes? They claim the information came from amphibious beings who visited Earth in the distant past. But mainstream archaeology seeks more conventional explanations. Could they have preserved ancient observations from unknown earlier civilizations? Did they have contact with cultures that possessed advanced astronomical instruments? The precision of ancient astronomical knowledge appears worldwide. The Maya calculated the length of the solar year to 365.2420 days, just minutes off from our modern calculation of 365.2422 days. They predicted eclipses thousands of years in advance with remarkable accuracy. The ancient Egyptians knew that Sirius has a companion star, information that requires sophisticated observational techniques to discover. Such precise astronomical knowledge suggests either remarkable observational skills developed over thousands of years, or access to information sources that we don't understand. The consistency of this knowledge across different cultures that supposedly had no contact raises questions about how such information spread or whether it derives from common unknown sources. But astronomical knowledge is just one area where ancient achievements seem impossibly advanced. Medical knowledge from ancient civilizations sometimes demonstrates understanding that wouldn't be rediscovered until modern times. Trepanation, the practice of drilling holes in skulls to treat medical conditions, was performed with remarkable success rates by ancient peoples worldwide. Evidence from Peru shows that ancient surgeons achieved survival rates of over 80% for trepanation procedures, comparable to modern neurosurgery success rates. The precision of the drilling, the knowledge of which areas of the skull could be safely penetrated, and the post-operative care that allowed such high survival rates all suggest sophisticated medical knowledge. Ancient Egyptian medical papyri describe surgical procedures, anatomical knowledge, and treatments that demonstrate understanding of human physiology that rivals modern medicine in some areas. The Edwin Smith Papyrus describes brain surgery techniques and understanding of the relationship between brain injuries and paralysis that wasn't officially recognized in Western medicine until the 19th century. In India, ancient Sanskrit texts describe surgical procedures including cataract removal, plastic surgery, and organ transplants. The precision of these descriptions and the anatomical knowledge they demonstrate suggest advanced medical understanding. Some procedures described in these texts weren't successfully performed in Western medicine until the 20th century. How did ancient physicians acquire such detailed anatomical knowledge without modern dissection facilities and preservation techniques? Were they better observers of human anatomy than we give them credit for, or did they inherit medical knowledge from even earlier sources? The global nature of advanced ancient medical knowledge is particularly puzzling. Similar sophisticated surgical techniques appear in completely separate cultures across different continents. This suggests either independent development of remarkably similar medical knowledge or the spread of information across the ancient world through unknown networks. But medical knowledge is just one area where ancient achievements challenge our understanding. Acoustic engineering in ancient structures demonstrates understanding of sound principles that we're only now beginning to appreciate. Many ancient theaters, temples, and ceremonial sites show evidence of sophisticated acoustic design that rivals modern concert halls. The ancient theater at Epidaurus in Greece, built in the 4th century BCE, has such perfect acoustics that a coin dropped on the stage can be heard clearly in the back row, 80 feet away. Modern acoustic engineers study this theater to understand principles of sound design that were somehow understood by ancient architects. Similar acoustic phenomena appear at sites worldwide. The Mayan pyramid at Chichen Itza produces a chirping echo when you clap your hands at the base of the staircase. The sound precisely mimics the call of the Quetzal bird, sacred to the Maya. This acoustic effect required sophisticated understanding of how sound waves interact with stepped stone surfaces. At Newgrange in Ireland, a 5,000-year-old passage tomb has a resonant frequency that matches the range of male human voices. When men chant inside the chamber, the sound resonates and amplifies in ways that create powerful acoustic effects. Similar resonant properties appear in ancient temples and ceremonial sites worldwide. How did ancient architects understand acoustic principles well enough to design structures with specific sound properties? Did they use trial and error over many generations? Or did they possess theoretical understanding of acoustic engineering? The precision of these acoustic effects suggests deliberate design rather than accidental discovery. The consistency of acoustic engineering across different ancient cultures raises questions about shared knowledge or common sources of information. Were these independent discoveries, or did ancient peoples share understanding of acoustic principles through unknown networks of communication? But acoustic mysteries are just one type of architectural puzzle that ancient sites present. The precision of astronomical alignments in ancient structures demonstrates understanding of celestial mechanics that required centuries of careful observation and mathematical calculation. Stonehenge is aligned to track the movements of the sun and moon with remarkable precision. The heel stone marks the exact position of sunrise on the summer solstice, while other alignments track lunar cycles and predict eclipses. The level of astronomical knowledge required to create these alignments suggests sophisticated understanding of celestial mechanics. The Great Pyramid of Giza encodes mathematical constants that weren't supposedly known until modern times. The ratio of its height to its base perimeter equals pi to 6 decimal places. The structure's angles and proportions encode other mathematical relationships, including the golden ratio and relationships between various celestial measurements. Angkor Wat in Cambodia is designed as a scale model of the Hindu cosmos, with its measurements corresponding to various astronomical cycles. The temple's alignment tracks the precession of the equinoxes, a 26,000-year cycle that requires extremely long-term observations to detect. How did 12th century Cambodian architects know about astronomical cycles that take millennia to complete? The precision of these astronomical alignments raises questions about the knowledge and capabilities of their builders. Creating structures aligned to celestial events with such accuracy requires not only sophisticated astronomical knowledge, but also extremely precise construction techniques. The global nature of astronomical alignments in ancient architecture suggests that understanding of celestial mechanics was widespread among ancient civilizations. This knowledge appears across cultures that supposedly had no contact, raising questions about how such information spread or whether it derives from common sources. But architectural mysteries extend beyond astronomical alignments. Some ancient structures demonstrate engineering capabilities that challenge our understanding of what was possible without modern technology. The precision and scale of construction at these sites often exceeds what we can easily explain with known ancient techniques. The Antikythera mechanism demonstrates that ancient Greeks possessed mechanical engineering knowledge comparable to 18th century clockwork. The device contains gear trains, differential gears, and epicyclic gearing that wouldn't be seen again until medieval mechanical clocks. How did ancient engineers develop such sophisticated mechanical knowledge? Roman concrete has proven more durable than modern concrete, maintaining its strength and integrity for over 2,000 years, while modern concrete typically lasts only 50 to 100 years. Analysis shows that Roman concrete used volcanic ash in ways that create self-healing properties, allowing it to actually become stronger over time. This knowledge was lost after the fall of Rome and only recently rediscovered. Damascus steel, produced in the Middle East from around 300 CE to 1700 CE, had properties that modern metallurgy struggles to reproduce. The steel could cut through European swords and armor while maintaining its edge indefinitely. The exact techniques for creating Damascus steel were lost, and despite modern attempts, we've never fully recreated its unique properties. These examples suggest that ancient civilizations possessed technical knowledge that we've lost and are only now beginning to rediscover. How much ancient knowledge disappeared when civilizations fell? Were there technologies and techniques that were never properly recorded and transmitted to later generations? The loss of ancient knowledge raises questions about the nature of technological development. We tend to think of progress as linear, with each generation building on the achievements of the previous one. But the evidence suggests that knowledge can be lost as well as gained, and that ancient civilizations sometimes achieved technical heights that took centuries to rediscover. But technological achievements aren't the only mysteries surrounding ancient civilizations. Sometimes the puzzles involve cultural and linguistic connections between peoples who supposedly had no contact with each other. Similarities in art, mythology, and language across widely separated cultures raise questions about ancient communication networks or common origins. Pyramid building appears independently in cultures across the globe: Egypt, Mesopotamia, China, Cambodia, Mexico, Peru, and many other locations. These structures often show remarkable similarities in design principles, construction techniques, and symbolic significance despite being built by cultures with no supposed contact. The step pyramid design appears virtually simultaneously in different parts of the world, suggesting either rapid spread of architectural knowledge or independent development of remarkably similar concepts. The symbolic associations with pyramids, connection between earth and sky, burial of important figures, astronomical alignments, appear consistently across different cultures. Similar flood myths appear in virtually every ancient culture worldwide. The details are remarkably consistent. A great flood destroys most of humanity. Survivors escape in boats, and civilization rebuilds afterward. These stories appear in cultures separated by oceans and continents, suggesting either shared experiences or common sources of information. Linguistic similarities also appear between ancient languages from widely separated regions. Words for basic concepts like mother, father, and numbers show similarities across language families that supposedly developed independently. These connections suggest either much earlier common origins or contact between ancient peoples that we don't recognize. The consistency of certain cultural concepts across separated civilizations raises questions about how ideas spread in the ancient world, or whether they derive from common sources. Were ancient peoples more connected than we realize? Or do these similarities reflect shared human experiences and responses to natural phenomena? But cultural connections are just one area where archaeological evidence challenges conventional historical narratives. Sometimes the mysteries involve evidence of human presence in locations or time periods where it wasn't supposed to exist according to established theories of human migration and development. Footprints preserved in volcanic ash at Lake Toli in Tanzania show evidence of early human ancestors walking upright 3.6 million years ago. But some researchers argue that the footprints show anatomical features more consistent with modern human feet than with early hominid species. If true, this would push back the timeline for human evolution by millions of years. Stone tools found at various sites worldwide have been dated to periods much earlier than the supposed development of tool-making capabilities. Tools from the Hueyatlaco site in Mexico have been dated to 250,000 years ago, far predating the supposed arrival of humans in the Americas. Similar anomalous dates appear at sites worldwide. Human remains and artifacts found in geological contexts that predate accepted timelines for human presence continue to challenge conventional archaeology. While many of these finds are disputed, they raise questions about the completeness of our understanding of human migration and development. The Ica stones of Peru show carved depictions of humans interacting with dinosaurs, performing advanced medical procedures, and using sophisticated technology. While most archaeologists consider these to be modern hoaxes, their number, over 15,000 stones, and the consistency of their imagery raise questions about their origins. Could evidence of much earlier human civilizations exist but be dismissed because it doesn't fit current theoretical frameworks? Are there aspects of human history that we're not recognizing because they contradict established timelines and migration patterns? The possibility of unknown earlier civilizations raises profound questions about the nature of human development and the completeness of our archaeological record. But evidence of anomalous human presence isn't the only challenge to conventional archaeological timelines. Sometimes the mysteries involve technologies that appear thousands of years before they were supposedly invented, suggesting either much earlier development of advanced techniques or preservation of knowledge from unknown sources. The use of electricity in ancient times remains one of archaeology's most contentious mysteries. Beyond the Baghdad batteries, evidence of electrical knowledge appears at sites worldwide. The Temple of Hathor at Dendera in Egypt contains hieroglyphic carvings that some researchers interpret as depicting ancient light bulbs, complete with electrical cables and power sources. The carvings show elongated, bulb-like objects with wavy lines inside, connected to box-like structures through what appear to be cables, while mainstream Egyptology interprets these as mythological symbols representing the journey of the sun through the underworld. Electrical engineers who've studied the images point out their remarkable similarity to modern electrical diagrams. If ancient Egyptians possessed electrical knowledge, it would explain some of the mysteries surrounding pyramid construction. How did workers see to carve intricate hieroglyphs and paint detailed murals in the completely dark interior chambers of pyramids? Torch flames would have consumed oxygen and left soot deposits, yet the chambers show no evidence of smoke damage. Archaeological experiments using the Dendera light bulb designs have successfully created working electrical devices capable of producing light. When connected to reproductions of the Baghdad batteries, these devices generate enough illumination to work by. Could ancient peoples have used similar electrical systems for lighting their temples and tombs? The implications extend beyond simple lighting. If ancient civilizations understood electrical principles, what other technologies might they have possessed? Evidence of electroplating appears in ancient jewelry, suggesting use of electrical current for metal deposition. Some researchers point to evidence of electrical welding in ancient metalwork and possible use of electrical tools for stone cutting. But electrical knowledge isn't the only technology that seems to appear too early in human history. Evidence of powered flight in ancient times comes from multiple sources worldwide, challenging our understanding of when humans first conquered the skies. The Nazca lines, visible only from the air, raise obvious questions about ancient flight capabilities. While most archaeologists explain them as ground-based ritual pathways, their design clearly accounts for aerial viewing. Some researchers have successfully built hot air balloons using materials and techniques available to the Nazca people, suggesting they might have achieved limited flight. Ancient Indian texts describe flying vehicles called vimanas in remarkable detail. The Vaimanika Shastra provides technical specifications for aircraft construction, including details about metallurgy, propulsion systems, and navigation equipment. While mainstream scholars consider these texts to be medieval fantasy literature, aerospace engineers who've studied them note that many descriptions align with principles of aerodynamics and aircraft design. Egyptian hieroglyphs at the Temple of Seti Ekwon in Abydos appear to show helicopters, airplanes, and submarines. While Egyptologists explain these as overlapping hieroglyphs from different time periods that coincidentally resemble modern vehicles, the images are remarkably detailed and consistent with actual aircraft designs. Mayan art contains numerous depictions of figures that appear to be operating flying machines. The sarcophagus lid of Kinika Jinapakal at Palenque shows what some interpret as an astronaut operating spacecraft controls, complete with breathing apparatus and rocket flames. While mainstream archaeology sees mythological symbolism, the technical details are surprisingly consistent with space travel imagery. Could ancient peoples have achieved powered flight using technologies we don't understand? The consistency of flight imagery across different cultures suggests either shared experiences or widespread knowledge of aerial capabilities. If true, it would revolutionize our understanding of ancient technological achievements. But flight technology isn't the only advanced capability that ancient peoples might have possessed. Evidence of sophisticated manufacturing techniques appears at archaeological sites worldwide, suggesting industrial capabilities that predate the supposed development of such technologies by thousands of years. The precision of ancient metalwork often exceeds what we can achieve with modern techniques. Bronze Age axes show evidence of being manufactured to tolerances measured in fractions of millimeters. Requiring industrial-level quality control, ancient Chinese mirrors were polished to optical precision using techniques that modern manufacturers struggle to reproduce. Evidence of mass production appears in ancient pottery, metalwork, and textiles. Standardization of measurements, consistent quality across large quantities of goods, and sophisticated supply chain management all suggest manufacturing capabilities that we associate with industrial civilization. The Lycurgus cup, a 4th century Roman glass vessel, demonstrates nanotechnology thousands of years before its supposed invention. The cup appears green when lit from the front but red when lit from behind, an effect created by gold and silver nanoparticles embedded in the glass. Creating such nanoparticles requires precise control of temperature and chemistry that we've only recently mastered. Ancient Damascus steel contained carbon nanotubes that gave it its remarkable properties. These microscopic structures, only discovered by modern science in 1991, were somehow incorporated into steel production over 1,000 years ago. How did ancient metallurgists manipulate materials at the molecular level without modern scientific instruments? The precision of ancient manufacturing raises questions about the tools and techniques available to ancient craftspeople. Did they possess knowledge of chemistry, physics, and materials science that we've underestimated? Were there manufacturing techniques that were lost when civilizations fell? But advanced manufacturing is just one area where ancient achievements challenge our assumptions. Medical knowledge from ancient civilizations sometimes demonstrates understanding of human anatomy and physiology that seems impossibly sophisticated for the time periods involved. Ancient Peruvian surgeons performed cranial operations with success rates that rival modern neurosurgery. Evidence from thousands of trepanated skulls shows that patients not only survived these procedures but often lived for years afterward, with bone growth indicating complete healing. The precision of the drilling and the knowledge of which areas of the skull could be safely penetrated suggests sophisticated understanding of cranial anatomy. Egyptian mummies show evidence of surgical procedures including heart surgery, organ transplants, and complex bone repairs. The Edwin Smith Papyrus describes treatments for spinal injuries that demonstrate understanding of the relationship between specific vertebrae and motor function, knowledge that wasn't officially recognized in Western medicine until the 19th century. Ancient Indian Ayurvedic text describes surgical procedures including cataract removal, kidney stone extraction, and plastic surgery techniques. The detail and precision of these descriptions suggest practical experience with complex medical procedures. Some techniques described in these ancient texts weren't successfully performed in Western medicine until the 20th century. How did ancient physicians acquire such detailed anatomical knowledge without modern dissection facilities, preservation techniques, and scientific instruments? The consistency of advanced medical knowledge across different ancient cultures suggests either remarkable independent development or shared sources of information. The precision of ancient medical knowledge extends beyond surgery to understanding of pharmacology, anatomy, and physiology. Ancient peoples knew about the circulation of blood, the function of various organs, and the effects of different substances on the human body centuries before these discoveries were officially made by modern medicine. But medical mysteries are just one category of archaeological puzzles that challenge our understanding of ancient capabilities. Sometimes the most perplexing discoveries involve evidence of knowledge that seems to transcend the limitations of ancient technology and scientific understanding. Ancient astronomers calculated the precession of the equinoxes, a 26,000-year cycle that requires extremely long-term observation to detect. The precision of their calculations rivals modern computerized astronomy. How did ancient peoples track such long-term celestial cycles without modern instruments and recording systems? The Mayan calendar system demonstrates mathematical sophistication that we're only now beginning to fully appreciate. Their calculations of planetary cycles, eclipse predictions, and long-term astronomical events show precision that requires advanced mathematical concepts and centuries of careful observation. Ancient maps show geographical knowledge that shouldn't have been available for centuries. The accuracy of coastline details, the inclusion of islands and features that weren't officially discovered until much later, and the use of projection techniques that weren't supposedly developed until the Renaissance, all raise questions about ancient geographical knowledge. How did ancient peoples acquire such precise astronomical and geographical knowledge? Did they have access to observational instruments and recording techniques that we're not aware of? Were there networks of knowledge sharing that connected ancient civilizations across vast distances? The consistency of advanced knowledge across different ancient cultures suggests either remarkable coincidence or systematic sharing of information through unknown means. The precision of this knowledge often exceeds what we would expect from trial and error learning, suggesting access to systematic sources of information. But precise knowledge isn't the only mystery surrounding ancient civilizations. Sometimes the puzzles involve artistic and cultural achievements that seem to demonstrate capabilities far beyond what we attribute to their creators. Ancient art often shows anatomical accuracy and artistic sophistication that rivals Renaissance masterpieces. Cave paintings at Lascaux and Altamira demonstrate understanding of perspective, movement, and artistic technique that we associate with much later periods of artistic development. The precision and beauty of these ancient works raise questions about the artistic knowledge and capabilities of their creators. Megalithic art shows sophisticated understanding of geometry, proportion, and design principles. The spiral designs at New Grange, the intricate carvings at Göbekli Tepe, and the precision of geometric patterns in ancient architecture all demonstrate mathematical and artistic knowledge that seems remarkably advanced for the time periods involved. The consistency of artistic motifs across ancient cultures separated by vast distances raises questions about shared knowledge or common sources of inspiration. Similar symbols, designs, and artistic techniques appear worldwide, suggesting either remarkable coincidence or unknown connections between ancient peoples. Could ancient artists have possessed knowledge of artistic techniques and principles that we've underestimated? Were there teaching traditions and artistic schools that preserved sophisticated knowledge across generations? The quality and consistency of ancient art suggests systematic knowledge rather than random discovery. But artistic achievements are just one area where ancient civilizations demonstrate capabilities that challenge our assumptions. The organizational skills required for some ancient projects seem to exceed what we would expect from supposedly simple societies. The construction of megalithic monuments required coordination of thousands of workers, sophisticated planning and resource management on an enormous scale. Projects like Stonehenge, the Great Pyramid, and Angkor Wat represent organizational achievements that rival modern construction projects in their complexity and scope. How did ancient societies organize and manage such massive undertakings without modern communication, transportation, and administrative systems? The precision of planning and execution suggests sophisticated project management capabilities that we associate with modern industrial civilization. The global coordination of certain ancient projects raises even more questions. The simultaneous appearance of similar architectural styles, construction techniques, and cultural practices across widely separated regions suggests either remarkable coincidence or unknown systems of communication and coordination. Could ancient civilizations have possessed organizational and communication capabilities that we've underestimated? Were there networks of contact and coordination that connected ancient peoples across vast distances? The scale and precision of ancient projects suggests systematic knowledge and capabilities that we're only now beginning to appreciate. As we delve deeper into these archaeological mysteries, patterns begin to emerge that challenge our fundamental assumptions about ancient human capabilities. The precision, sophistication, and global consistency of ancient achievements suggest levels of knowledge and organization that seem almost impossible for the time periods involved. Yet the evidence continues to accumulate. Advanced metallurgy, precise astronomy, sophisticated medicine, complex engineering, artistic mastery, and organizational capabilities all appear in the archaeological record thousands of years before they were supposedly developed. The consistency of these achievements across different cultures and time periods suggests systematic knowledge rather than random discovery. Are we underestimating the capabilities of ancient civilizations? Have we lost knowledge and techniques that were once common? Were there earlier civilizations that achieved technological and cultural heights that we're only now beginning to rediscover? The mysteries continue to multiply as new archaeological discoveries challenge established timelines and assumptions. Each new find raises more questions than it answers, suggesting that our understanding of human history and capabilities may be far more limited than we realize. But technological and organizational mysteries are just part of the puzzle. Some of archaeology's most perplexing discoveries involve evidence that seems to contradict our understanding of natural processes and physical laws. Artifacts found in coal seams and rock formations supposedly millions of years old challenge our understanding of geological processes and dating techniques. While most of these finds can be explained through contamination or misidentification, some cases remain genuinely puzzling and resist conventional explanation. The Koso artifact, discovered in 1961 inside a geode supposedly 500,000 years old, appeared to contain a spark plug or similar mechanical device. While later investigations suggested it was probably a 1920s spark plug that had become encrusted with minerals, the case illustrates the challenges of interpreting anomalous archaeological finds. Similar objects continue to be discovered worldwide: metal objects in coal, manufactured items in supposedly ancient rock formations, and artifacts that seem to be from the wrong time period entirely. While most can be explained through conventional processes, the sheer number of such reports raises questions about our understanding of archaeological context and dating. Could there be aspects of geological and archaeological processes that we don't fully understand? Are there ways that modern objects can become incorporated into apparently ancient geological formations? The consistency of anomalous finds across different locations and contexts suggests either systematic problems with our dating techniques or natural processes that we don't fully comprehend. But anomalous artifacts aren't the only challenge to conventional archaeological interpretation. Sometimes, the mysteries involve sites and structures that seem to demonstrate knowledge or capabilities that transcend normal human limitations. Coral Castle in Florida, built by Edward Leeds Cullinan in the early 20th century, demonstrates that individual humans can achieve remarkable feats of engineering using unknown techniques. Leeds Cullinan, working alone and in secret, moved and precisely placed limestone blocks weighing up to 30 tons using methods that remain mysterious. If a single person in the modern era can achieve such remarkable engineering feats using unknown techniques, what might ancient civilizations have accomplished using methods that we don't understand? The precision and scale of ancient construction projects might be achievable through techniques that we've lost or never discovered. The global distribution of megalithic sites suggests that knowledge of advanced construction techniques was widespread among ancient peoples. The consistency of precision and scale across different cultures and time periods implies systematic knowledge rather than random achievement. Could ancient peoples have possessed construction techniques that we don't understand? Were there methods of moving and placing massive stones that didn't require the enormous labor forces that we assume were necessary? The evidence suggests capabilities that we're struggling to explain with conventional archaeological models. But construction mysteries are just one area where ancient achievements seem to transcend normal limitations. Evidence of ancient knowledge, preservation, and transmission raises questions about how sophisticated information was maintained across generations without modern recording and educational systems. Oral traditions among indigenous peoples worldwide preserve detailed historical, geographical, and scientific information with remarkable accuracy across thousands of years. Aboriginal Australians maintain oral histories of geological events that scientists have verified occurred over 10,000 years ago. How do oral traditions maintain such precision across hundreds of generations? The accuracy of ancient knowledge transmission suggests sophisticated systems for preserving and teaching information that we might not fully understand. Were there memory techniques, educational methods, and knowledge preservation systems that were more effective than we realize? The global consistency of certain types of knowledge across ancient cultures suggests either remarkable coincidence or systematic sharing of information through unknown means. How did peoples separated by oceans develop similar mathematical concepts, astronomical knowledge, and technical capabilities? Could there have been ancient networks of communication and knowledge sharing that we're not aware of? Were there systems for preserving and transmitting sophisticated information that were lost when civilizations fell? The evidence suggests knowledge preservation capabilities that we're only now beginning to appreciate. As we approach the conclusion of our journey through these 50 archaeological mysteries, the implications become clear. The evidence consistently points to ancient human capabilities that exceed our current assumptions about technological, intellectual, and organizational possibilities for early civilizations. The precision of ancient achievements, the global consistency of sophisticated knowledge, and the scale of ancient projects all suggest that human civilization may have reached heights of accomplishment much earlier than we believe. Whether through techniques we've lost, knowledge we've forgotten, or capabilities we've underestimated, ancient peoples achieved remarkable things. These mysteries remind us that human history is far more complex and fascinating than simple narratives suggest. Each archaeological discovery has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of what was possible in the ancient world and challenge our assumptions about the linear progression of human knowledge and capability. The questions raised by these 50 mysteries extend beyond archaeology into fundamental questions about human potential, the nature of knowledge, and the possibility that our ancestors achieved heights of civilization that we're only now beginning to rediscover. They remind us that there is still so much we don't know about our own history and capabilities. As new archaeological discoveries continue to emerge, as new techniques allow us to examine ancient artifacts with greater precision, and as our understanding of ancient civilizations deepens, these mysteries may eventually find solutions. But for now, they stand as testament to the remarkable achievements of our ancestors and the profound mysteries that still surround human history. The 50 archaeological mysteries we've explored tonight represent just a fraction of the puzzles that ancient civilizations have left behind. Each one challenges us to think differently about human history, to question our assumptions about ancient capabilities, and to remain open to possibilities that might revolutionize our understanding of the past. From the impossible precision of ancient stonework to the sophisticated knowledge preserved in ancient texts, from the global coordination of megalithic construction to the advanced technologies that seem to appear thousands of years too early, these mysteries remind us that the story of human civilization is far more complex and remarkable than we often assume. They challenge us to consider that perhaps our ancestors were more capable, more knowledgeable, and more sophisticated than we give them credit for. They suggest that human achievement has followed paths more complex than simple linear progression, with knowledge gained and lost, techniques developed and forgotten, and capabilities achieved and then rediscovered centuries later. Most importantly, these mysteries remind us that archaeology is not just about the past, but about understanding human potential. They show us that our species has achieved remarkable things throughout history, often in ways that we don't fully understand even today. They inspire us to look at ancient achievements with wonder and respect, recognizing that our ancestors accomplished truly extraordinary things. As we continue to explore our past, to uncover new evidence, and to develop new techniques for understanding ancient civilizations, we can expect these mysteries to deepen and new puzzles to emerge. Each discovery has the potential to change our understanding of history and reveal new aspects of human capability and achievement. The journey through these archaeological mysteries reminds us that the past is not a closed book but an ongoing story of discovery and wonder. Every excavation, every analysis, every new technique brings us closer to understanding the remarkable achievements of our ancestors, while simultaneously revealing new questions and mysteries to explore. So the next time you see an ancient monument, examine an archaeological artifact, or read about a new discovery, remember that you're looking at evidence of human achievement that we're still struggling to fully understand. These mysteries connect us to our ancestors and remind us that the story of human civilization is far more remarkable, complex, and mysterious than we often realize. And perhaps most importantly, they remind us that there is still so much to discover, so much to understand, and so many mysteries waiting to be explored. The past holds secrets that continue to challenge our understanding, inspire our imagination, and expand our appreciation for the remarkable capabilities of human civilization throughout history. The ancient world holds within its buried layers secrets that continue to confound even our most advanced scientific methods. As we venture deeper into these mysteries, we encounter evidence that suggests our ancestors possessed knowledge systems so sophisticated that they rival and sometimes surpass our modern understanding of physics, astronomy, and engineering. Consider the phenomenon of acoustic engineering in ancient structures. The Great Pyramid of Giza exhibits acoustic properties that seem impossible to achieve without precise mathematical understanding of sound waves and resonance. When researchers introduced sound into the king's chamber, they discovered that the room resonates at exactly 432 Hz, a frequency that modern sound therapists claim has healing properties. The chamber's dimensions create standing wave patterns that focus and amplify sound in ways that suggest intentional acoustic design. But the Great Pyramid is not alone in demonstrating ancient acoustic mastery. The stone circles of Britain, the underground chambers at Hal Saflieni in Malta, and the temple complexes of South America all exhibit acoustic properties that seem far too sophisticated for their supposed time periods. These structures were designed not just to look magnificent, but to manipulate sound in ways that we're only now beginning to understand. The precision required to achieve these acoustic effects suggests that ancient architects possessed detailed knowledge of mathematical relationships between frequency, wavelength, and physical space. They understood concepts that we associate with modern physics and acoustic engineering, yet they implemented this knowledge thousands of years before these principles were supposedly discovered. How did ancient peoples develop such sophisticated understanding of acoustics? Were these effects accidental byproducts of construction techniques, or were they intentionally designed features? The consistency of acoustic properties across different ancient structures suggests systematic knowledge rather than coincidental achievement. The mystery deepens when we consider that many of these acoustic effects require precise mathematical calculations and sophisticated understanding of wave physics. Ancient builders would have needed to understand relationships between chamber dimensions, wall thickness, ceiling height, and material properties to achieve these acoustic effects intentionally. Yet the evidence clearly shows that they did achieve these effects, creating spaces that manipulate sound in ways that modern architects struggle to replicate even with computer modeling and advanced understanding of acoustic principles. The ancient mastery of sound engineering represents another area where our ancestors' capabilities seem to exceed our expectations. But acoustic mysteries are just one facet of ancient achievements that challenge our understanding. The precision of ancient astronomical observations raises equally perplexing questions about how ancient peoples developed such detailed knowledge of celestial mechanics without modern instruments. The Antikythera mechanism, discovered in a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera, represents one of archaeology's most stunning revelations about ancient technological capability. This bronze device, dating to approximately 100 BCE, is essentially an ancient analog computer designed to predict astronomical positions and movements with remarkable accuracy. The mechanism contains over 30 bronze gears arranged in a complex system that can calculate the positions of the sun, moon, and planets, decades into the future. It predicts eclipses, tracks the 4-year cycle of the Olympic Games, and follows the 19-year metonic cycle of lunar phases. The precision of its calculations rivals modern astronomical software. The sophistication of the Antikythera mechanism suggests that ancient Greek technology was far more advanced than we previously believed. The device requires manufacturing techniques, metallurgical knowledge, and mathematical understanding that we associate with much later periods of technological development. How did ancient craftsmen develop the precision machining techniques necessary to create such intricate gears? Where did they acquire the astronomical knowledge needed to design such accurate calculation? The mechanism suggests the existence of a sophisticated technological tradition that has been almost entirely lost to history. The implications extend beyond Greek civilization. If such sophisticated technology existed in the ancient Mediterranean, what other technological achievements might have been lost? Were there other civilizations that developed similar or even more advanced technologies that we haven't discovered yet? The Antikythera mechanism represents tangible proof that ancient technological capabilities were far more sophisticated than traditional archaeological models suggest. It forces us to reconsider our assumptions about the linear progression of technological development and the capabilities of ancient civilizations. Yet even this remarkable device pales in comparison to some of the mathematical and astronomical achievements preserved in ancient architectural monuments. The precision of astronomical alignments in structures worldwide suggests knowledge systems that rival modern astronomical understanding. The Pyramid of Giza encodes mathematical relationships that seem impossible to achieve without sophisticated understanding of advanced mathematics. The structure incorporates pi, the golden ratio, and complex geometric relationships in ways that suggest intentional mathematical design rather than coincidental proportions. The pyramid's base perimeter, divided by its height, equals pi to several decimal places. The ratio of its height to its base length equals the golden ratio. These mathematical relationships appear throughout the structure in ways that seem far too precise to be accidental. But the mathematical sophistication doesn't stop with basic geometric relationships. The pyramid also encodes the speed of light, the distance from the Earth to the Sun, and the precession of the equinoxes in its dimensions and proportions. These values are embedded in the structure's measurements in ways that suggest the builders possessed knowledge of physical constants and astronomical cycles that we associate with modern science. How did ancient Egyptian architects acquire knowledge of the speed of light thousands of years before this constant was measured by modern physics? How did they determine the precise distance from Earth to the Sun without modern astronomical instruments? The mathematical relationships encoded in the Great Pyramid suggest access to scientific knowledge that we can barely comprehend. The precision of these mathematical relationships raises fundamental questions about the nature of ancient knowledge systems. Were these values discovered through systematic scientific investigation, or were they preserved from even earlier civilizations? The mathematical sophistication suggests knowledge acquisition processes that we don't understand. Similar mathematical precision appears in ancient structures worldwide. Angkor Wat in Cambodia, Stonehenge in England, and Teotihuacan in Mexico all incorporate astronomical alignments and mathematical relationships that demonstrate sophisticated understanding of cosmic cycles and geometric principles. The global consistency of mathematical and astronomical knowledge among ancient civilizations suggests either remarkable coincidence or systematic sharing of sophisticated information across vast distances. How did civilizations separated by oceans and centuries develop such similar understanding of complex mathematical and astronomical concepts? The answer might lie in evidence of ancient navigational and cartographic capabilities that seem impossible for their supposed time periods. Maps preserved from the medieval period show geographical knowledge that shouldn't have existed when they were supposedly created. The Eerie map, created in 1513, shows the coastline of Antarctica with remarkable accuracy, despite the fact that Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1820. The map depicts the continent without ice, showing geographical features that are currently buried under miles of glacial ice. Modern satellite surveys have confirmed that the Eerie map accurately depicts Antarctica's subglacial topography. The coastlines, mountain ranges, and geographical features shown on the map match what we know lies beneath the Antarctic ice sheet. This suggests that the map was based on information gathered when Antarctica was ice-free, which last occurred over 6,000 years ago. How did medieval cartographers acquire accurate geographical information about Antarctica's ice-free coastline? Where did they obtain survey data that modern science has only recently been able to verify? The accuracy of the Eerie map suggests access to geographical knowledge that seems impossible for its time period. The map isn't alone in demonstrating impossible geographical knowledge. The Orontes Phineas map of 1531 also shows Antarctica without ice, depicting rivers, mountains, and coastlines that match modern understanding of the continent's subglacial geography. The Haji Ahmed map of 1559 shows similar impossible accuracy in depicting Antarctic geography. These maps suggest that ancient civilizations possessed sophisticated cartographic and navigational capabilities that enabled them to survey and map geographical features across the globe. They had access to geographical information that we can only verify using modern satellite technology and ice-penetrating radar. The implications are staggering. If ancient peoples could accurately map Antarctica's subglacial topography, what other geographical and navigational capabilities might they have possessed? Were there ancient civilizations that achieved global exploration and mapping capabilities that we've underestimated? The accuracy of ancient cartography extends beyond Antarctica to other geographical features that seem impossible to map without modern technology. Ancient maps show accurate depictions of ocean depths, coastal details, and geographical features that weren't verified by modern exploration until centuries later. The precision of ancient geographical knowledge suggests navigational capabilities that rival modern global positioning systems. Ancient mariners could apparently determine their position with remarkable accuracy and create maps that maintain precision across vast distances and diverse geographical regions. How did ancient navigators achieve such precision without modern instruments? What techniques did they use to determine longitude, latitude, and geographical position with accuracy that matches modern GPS systems? The precision of ancient cartography suggests navigational technologies that we don't understand. But navigational mysteries represent just one aspect of ancient achievements that seem to transcend normal technological limitations. Evidence of ancient surgical and medical capabilities raises equally perplexing questions about how sophisticated knowledge was developed and preserved. Surgical instruments found in ancient Egyptian tombs demonstrate precision and sophistication that rivals modern medical technology. Bronze surgical tools dating to 200 and 500 BCE show design features and manufacturing quality that suggest advanced metallurgical techniques and detailed understanding of surgical procedures. Ancient Egyptian papyri describe surgical procedures, anatomical knowledge, and medical treatments that demonstrate sophisticated understanding of human physiology. The Edwin Smith Papyrus, dating to approximately 1600 BCE, describes brain surgery, spinal operations, and trauma treatments that demonstrate advanced medical knowledge. The precision of ancient surgical techniques becomes even more remarkable when we consider evidence of successful operations that we associate with modern medicine. Skulls found in ancient burial sites show evidence of trepanation procedures that were performed with remarkable skill and high survival rates. Trepanation involves removing sections of skull bone to relieve pressure or treat head injuries. It's a complex surgical procedure that requires precise techniques, sophisticated instruments, and detailed knowledge of brain anatomy. Yet evidence shows that ancient surgeons performed these operations with success rates that rival modern neurosurgery. How did ancient surgeons develop such sophisticated surgical techniques without modern medical knowledge? Where did they acquire the anatomical understanding necessary to perform complex brain surgery? The precision of ancient surgical procedures suggests medical knowledge systems that we're struggling to understand. The sophistication of ancient medicine extends beyond surgical procedures to pharmaceutical knowledge that demonstrates remarkable understanding of biochemistry and pharmacology. Ancient texts describe drug preparations, dosage calculations, and treatment protocols that show sophisticated understanding of how chemical compounds affect human physiology. The Ebers Papyrus, dating to approximately 1550 BCE, describes hundreds of medical treatments using plant-based pharmaceuticals. The text demonstrates detailed knowledge of drug interactions, dosage requirements, and treatment protocols that suggest systematic pharmaceutical research and development. How did ancient physicians develop such sophisticated pharmaceutical knowledge? Where did they acquire understanding of biochemical processes and drug interactions that we associate with modern pharmacology? The precision of ancient medical treatments suggests knowledge acquisition processes that we don't fully comprehend, but medical mysteries represent just one area where ancient achievements seem to exceed our expectations. Evidence of ancient manufacturing capabilities raises questions about how sophisticated production techniques were developed without modern industrial technology. The precision of ancient metalworking becomes apparent when we examine artifacts that demonstrate manufacturing techniques we can barely replicate today. The iron pillar of Delhi, created over 1600 years ago, shows no signs of rust, despite centuries of exposure to monsoon rains and atmospheric corrosion. The pillar was created using metallurgical techniques that produce iron of exceptional purity and corrosion resistance. Modern analysis reveals that the iron contains phosphorus compounds that create a protective coating preventing oxidation. The manufacturing process requires precise control of temperature, atmospheric conditions, and chemical composition that we associate with modern industrial techniques. How did ancient metallurgists develop such sophisticated understanding of corrosion prevention? Where did they acquire knowledge of chemical processes that we've only recently understood through modern materials science? The precision of ancient metallurgy suggests manufacturing capabilities that exceed our assumptions about ancient technology. Similar precision appears in ancient glass manufacturing. Roman glass artifacts demonstrate optical properties and manufacturing techniques that we can barely achieve with modern methods. Ancient glassmakers could create optical lenses, decorative patterns, and structural components that require sophisticated understanding of materials science and precision manufacturing. The famous Lycurgus cup, a 4th century Roman artifact, demonstrates nanotechnology applications that we've only recently learned to replicate. The cup appears green in reflected light, but red in transmitted light due to gold and silver nanoparticles embedded in the glass. The optical effects require precise control of particle size and distribution that we associate with modern nanotechnology. How did ancient craftsmen develop nanotechnology applications? 1600 years before we understood the scientific principles involved. Where did they acquire knowledge of particle physics and optical engineering that we've only recently discovered? The sophistication of ancient manufacturing suggests technological capabilities that we're struggling to explain. The precision of ancient manufacturing extends to textiles and organic materials that demonstrate processing techniques we can barely understand. Ancient Egyptian linen shows thread counts and weaving patterns that require manufacturing precision we associate with modern industrial textile production. The bandages used to wrap Egyptian mummies demonstrate textile manufacturing capabilities that seem impossible without modern spinning and weaving technology. The threads are so fine and uniform that they require precision manufacturing techniques we can barely achieve today. How did ancient textile workers achieve such manufacturing precision without modern spinning and weaving equipment? Where did they develop the technical knowledge necessary to create such sophisticated textile products? The quality of ancient textiles suggests manufacturing capabilities that exceed our expectations. But manufacturing mysteries represent just one facet of ancient achievements that challenge our understanding. Evidence of ancient computational and mathematical capabilities raises questions about how sophisticated calculation systems were developed without modern mathematical tools. The Inca used a system of knotted strings called quipu to record numerical information with remarkable precision. These devices could store complex mathematical data, perform calculations, and maintain accurate records using only arrangements of knots in colored strings. Recent analysis of quipu systems reveals that they functioned as sophisticated computational devices, capable of performing mathematical operations that we associate with advanced calculation systems. The Inca used these string computers to manage agricultural production, track astronomical cycles, and maintain administrative records for their vast empire. The computational capabilities of quipu systems seem impossible to achieve without understanding of advanced mathematical principles and systematic calculation methods. Yet the Inca developed these systems without written numbers, mathematical notation, or mechanical calculation devices. How did the Inca develop such sophisticated computational systems using only knotted strings? Where did they acquire the mathematical knowledge necessary to create such effective calculation methods? The precision of quipu computation suggests mathematical capabilities that we're struggling to understand. Similar computational sophistication appears in other ancient mathematical systems. The ancient Chinese developed calculation methods using bamboo rods that could perform complex mathematical operations, centuries before similar techniques appeared in other civilizations. The Chinese rod calculation system could handle algebraic equations, solve complex mathematical problems, and perform calculations that we associate with advanced mathematics. The system demonstrates mathematical understanding that seems remarkably sophisticated for its time period. How did ancient Chinese mathematicians develop such advanced calculation techniques? Where did they acquire the mathematical knowledge necessary to solve complex algebraic problems? The sophistication of ancient calculation systems suggests mathematical capabilities that exceed our assumptions about ancient knowledge. The precision of ancient mathematical achievements becomes even more remarkable when we consider evidence of ancient understanding of advanced geometric principles. The mathematical relationships embedded in ancient architecture demonstrate knowledge of geometric concepts that we associate with advanced mathematics. The spiral patterns found in ancient art and architecture demonstrate understanding of logarithmic spirals, Fibonacci sequences, and golden ratio relationships that seem impossible without sophisticated mathematical knowledge. These patterns appear in structures worldwide with precision that suggests systematic mathematical design. How did ancient architects acquire knowledge of advanced geometric principles without modern mathematical tools? Where did they develop understanding of logarithmic relationships and complex geometric patterns? The precision of ancient mathematical design suggests knowledge systems that we don't fully comprehend, but mathematical mysteries represent just one aspect of ancient achievements that seem to transcend normal limitations. Evidence of ancient energy and power systems raises questions about how sophisticated technologies were developed without modern energy sources. Ancient batteries found in Iraq demonstrate electrical knowledge that seems impossible for their supposed time period. The Baghdad battery, consisting of a clay jar containing a copper cylinder and iron rod, shows evidence of electrochemical activity that suggests understanding of electrical principles. When modern researchers reconstructed similar devices using ancient materials and techniques, they successfully generated electrical current. The devices produce voltage levels sufficient to power small electrical circuits or perform electroplating operations. How did ancient craftsmen develop understanding of electrochemical principles without modern electrical knowledge? Where did they acquire the technical expertise necessary to create functional electrical devices? The existence of ancient batteries suggests technological capabilities that we're struggling to explain. Similar evidence of advanced energy systems appears in other ancient technologies. The acoustic properties of certain ancient structures suggest that they might have been designed to generate or focus energy in ways that we don't understand. Some researchers propose that the Great Pyramid functioned as an energy generator, using its unique geometric properties and internal structure to focus electromagnetic energy. The pyramid's position, orientation, and internal chamber design might have created energy effects that we're only now beginning to investigate. While these theories remain controversial, the precision of the pyramid's construction and its unique physical properties suggest that its builders understood energy principles that we don't fully comprehend. The structure demonstrates engineering capabilities that seem designed for purposes beyond simple burial chambers. How did ancient engineers develop understanding of energy manipulation and electromagnetic principles? Were there energy technologies that we've lost or never discovered? The sophistication of ancient engineering suggests technological capabilities that challenge our assumptions about ancient knowledge. The evidence continues to accumulate as new archaeological discoveries reveal additional mysteries that challenge our understanding of ancient capabilities. Each new find raises more questions than it answers, suggesting that our knowledge of ancient civilizations remains fundamentally incomplete. Recent discoveries in Turkey, Peru, Egypt, and other locations worldwide continue to yield artifacts and structures that demonstrate capabilities we didn't expect from ancient peoples. These finds consistently show precision, sophistication, and knowledge that exceed our assumptions about ancient technological and intellectual development. The implications of these discoveries extend far beyond archaeology into fundamental questions about human history, technological development, and the nature of knowledge itself. They suggest that human civilization has followed paths more complex than simple linear progression, with knowledge gained and lost, techniques developed and forgotten. Perhaps most importantly, these archaeological mysteries remind us that there is still so much we don't know about our own history and capabilities. They challenge us to remain open to possibilities that might revolutionize our understanding of human achievement and potential. The precision of ancient accomplishments suggests that our ancestors possessed knowledge, techniques, and capabilities that we've underestimated or lost entirely. Whether through systematic investigation, preservation of earlier knowledge, or techniques we don't understand, ancient peoples achieved remarkable things that continue to inspire wonder and challenge our assumptions. As we continue to explore these mysteries, to develop new techniques for understanding ancient artifacts, and to uncover new evidence of ancient capabilities, we can expect our understanding of human history to continue evolving. Each discovery has the potential to change our perspective on what was possible in the ancient world. The 50 archaeological mysteries we've explored represent just a fraction of the puzzles that surround ancient human achievement. They remind us that the story of civilization is far more complex, sophisticated, and remarkable than we often assume. They challenge us to look at our ancestors with new respect and wonder, recognizing that they accomplished truly extraordinary things. Most importantly, these mysteries connect us to our past in profound ways. They show us that human beings have always been capable of remarkable achievements, of pushing the boundaries of what seems possible, and of creating wonders that continue to inspire awe thousands of years later. As we face the challenges of our own time, these ancient achievements remind us of human potential and capability. They show us that our species has consistently overcome seemingly impossible obstacles and achieved things that once seemed beyond reach. They inspire us to continue pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The mysteries also remind us that knowledge and capability can be lost as well as gained. Civilizations that achieved remarkable things sometimes disappeared, taking their knowledge with them. This serves as both inspiration and warning, encouraging us to preserve and build upon human knowledge while recognizing its fragility. As we conclude this journey through 50 archaeological mysteries, we're left with a profound sense of wonder about human achievement and potential. These mysteries remind us that there is always more to discover, more to understand, and more to appreciate about our remarkable species and its long journey through history. The ancient world continues to hold secrets that challenge our understanding and inspire our imagination. Each archaeological discovery brings us closer to understanding our ancestors while simultaneously revealing new questions and mysteries to explore. The story of human civilization is far from complete, and these mysteries remind us that the most exciting discoveries might still lie ahead. In the end, these 50 archaeological mysteries serve as a testament to human achievement, curiosity, and potential. They connect us to our ancestors across thousands of years, and remind us that the human story is one of continuous wonder, discovery, and accomplishment. They inspire us to continue exploring, questioning, and pushing the boundaries of what we think is possible. The mysteries continue, the questions multiply, and the sense of wonder grows. Our ancestors achieved remarkable things that we're still struggling to understand, and their accomplishments continue to inspire and challenge us today. The archaeological record holds countless more secrets waiting to be discovered, and each new find has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of human history and capability. These mysteries remind us that we are part of a species capable of extraordinary achievement, remarkable creativity, and profound wisdom. They connect us to a heritage of accomplishment that spans thousands of years and inspire us to continue building upon the remarkable foundation that our ancestors created. The story continues, the mysteries multiply, and the wonder never ends. But perhaps the most perplexing aspect of these archaeological mysteries lies not in what we've found, but in what appears to have been deliberately hidden or obscured. Throughout history, there are tantalizing hints of knowledge systems and technologies that were intentionally concealed, protected by secret societies, or lost during periods of upheaval and destruction. The ancient library of Alexandria represented one of humanity's greatest repositories of knowledge, containing hundreds of thousands of scrolls that documented scientific, mathematical, and technological achievements from across the ancient world. When this library was destroyed, along with similar institutions throughout the ancient world, entire knowledge systems vanished from human civilization. What secrets were lost when these great libraries burned? What technologies and scientific understanding disappeared forever when civilizations fell and knowledge centers were destroyed? The fragmented evidence that survives suggests that we may have lost far more than we realize, leaving us with only tantalizing glimpses of ancient achievements that once represented systematic knowledge traditions. The mystery deepens when we consider evidence that some ancient knowledge may have been deliberately hidden or encoded to protect it from destruction or misuse. Many ancient texts and monuments contain information that seems to be presented in symbolic or coded form, requiring specific knowledge to decode their true meaning. The symbolism found in alchemical texts, the geometric patterns embedded in sacred architecture, and the astronomical alignments of ancient monuments all suggest that sophisticated information was often disguised as religious or artistic expression. This encoding may have been a deliberate strategy to preserve important knowledge through periods of cultural upheaval and political instability. How much ancient knowledge remains hidden in plain sight, encoded in symbols and patterns that we haven't learned to decode? Were there systematic approaches to knowledge preservation that protected important information by disguising it as mythology, art, or religious practice? The complexity of ancient symbolic systems suggests information storage methods that we're only beginning to understand. The persistence of certain symbols and patterns across different cultures and time periods suggests that encoded knowledge systems may have been more widespread and systematic than we realize. The same geometric patterns, astronomical relationships, and mathematical ratios appear in ancient cultures worldwide, often embedded in contexts that seem purely decorative or religious. Could these recurring patterns represent a universal knowledge encoding system that preserved important information across cultures and centuries? Were there ancient protocols for embedding scientific and technical knowledge in symbolic form to ensure its preservation? The global consistency of certain symbolic patterns suggests communication systems that we don't fully comprehend, but encoded knowledge represents just one aspect of ancient information systems that challenge our understanding. Evidence of ancient communication networks raises questions about how information was transmitted across vast distances without modern technology. The precision of astronomical observations recorded by ancient civilizations worldwide suggests coordinated data collection and sharing that would require sophisticated communication systems. How did ancient astronomers in different parts of the world achieve such consistent accuracy in their celestial observations without modern communication technology? The simultaneous appearance of similar architectural techniques, artistic styles, and technological innovations across widely separated regions suggests communication networks that connected ancient civilizations in ways that we don't understand. The coordination required for such widespread knowledge sharing implies communication capabilities that seem impossible for their supposed time periods. Were there ancient communication technologies that we haven't discovered? Did ancient peoples develop methods for long-distance information transmission that didn't require the physical transportation of messages? The evidence suggests communication capabilities that challenge our assumptions about ancient technological limitations. The mystery becomes even more intriguing when we consider evidence of ancient surveillance and monitoring systems that seem to demonstrate knowledge of principles we associate with modern electronics and information technology. Certain ancient structures appear to have been designed with acoustic properties that would allow monitoring of conversations and activities across large areas. The whispering galleries found in ancient buildings demonstrate understanding of sound propagation and acoustic engineering that could facilitate surveillance and communication. How did ancient architects develop such sophisticated understanding of acoustic surveillance principles? Were these effects intentional features designed for monitoring and communication? Or were they accidental byproducts of architectural design? The precision of ancient acoustic engineering suggests intentional development of surveillance capabilities. The implications extend beyond simple eavesdropping to suggest possible ancient understanding of information processing and data analysis concepts. If ancient peoples could design sophisticated surveillance systems, what other information technologies might they have developed? But surveillance mysteries represent just one facet of ancient achievements that seem to involve understanding of principles we associate with modern technology. Evidence of ancient automation and mechanical engineering raises questions about how sophisticated machines were developed without modern manufacturing capabilities. The elaborate mechanical devices described in ancient texts demonstrate understanding of gear systems, hydraulic engineering, and automated control mechanisms that seem remarkably sophisticated for their time periods. Hero of Alexandria's writings describe steam engines, automated doors, and programmable mechanical systems that demonstrate advanced engineering knowledge. These ancient mechanical devices weren't just theoretical concepts, but functional machines that demonstrated practical applications of advanced engineering principles. They show that ancient engineers understood concepts of automation, feedback control, and mechanical computation that we associate with much later technological development. How did ancient engineers develop such sophisticated understanding of mechanical principles without modern manufacturing tools and materials? Where did they acquire knowledge of automation concepts that we associate with Industrial Revolution technology? The complexity of ancient mechanical systems suggests engineering capabilities that exceed our expectations. The precision required to create these mechanical devices indicates advanced manufacturing techniques and metallurgical knowledge that would enable production of precise gears, springs, and control mechanisms. Ancient engineers would have needed sophisticated understanding of materials science and precision manufacturing to create functional automated systems. Yet the evidence clearly shows that they did create such systems, developing mechanical technologies that demonstrate remarkable sophistication and practical application. The ancient mastery of mechanical engineering represents another area where our ancestors' capabilities seem to exceed our assumptions about ancient technological development. But mechanical mysteries are just one aspect of ancient achievements that suggest knowledge of advanced scientific principles. Evidence of ancient understanding of optics and light manipulation raises questions about how sophisticated optical technologies were developed. Ancient mirrors, lenses, and optical devices demonstrate precision manufacturing and understanding of optical principles that seem remarkably advanced for their supposed time periods. The burning mirrors attributed to Archimedes, the crystal lenses found in ancient ruins, and the optical effects achieved in ancient architecture all suggest sophisticated understanding of light manipulation. The precision required to create effective optical devices indicates advanced knowledge of materials science, manufacturing techniques, and optical physics. Ancient craftsmen would have needed understanding of reflection, refraction, and light-focusing principles to create functional optical instruments. How did ancient peoples develop such sophisticated understanding of optical principles without modern scientific instruments and theoretical frameworks? Where did they acquire knowledge of light physics and optical engineering that enabled them to create functional optical devices? The sophistication of ancient optics suggests scientific knowledge that we're struggling to explain. The optical effects achieved in ancient architecture demonstrate practical applications of light manipulation that serve both functional and aesthetic purposes. Ancient builders could create dramatic lighting effects, focus sunlight for practical applications, and design structures that manipulate natural light in sophisticated ways. The precision of ancient optical engineering suggests systematic understanding of light physics rather than accidental discovery of optical effects. Ancient peoples apparently developed intentional applications of optical principles that demonstrate remarkable scientific and technical sophistication. Yet optical mysteries represent just one area where ancient achievements demonstrate understanding of physical principles that we associate with modern science. Evidence of ancient knowledge of magnetism and electromagnetic phenomena raises equally perplexing questions about ancient scientific understanding. Certain ancient artifacts demonstrate magnetic properties and electromagnetic effects that suggest understanding of magnetic principles thousands of years before these phenomena were supposedly discovered by modern science. Ancient compass-like devices, magnetic healing instruments, and structures that exhibit electromagnetic properties all point to ancient knowledge of magnetic phenomena. The lodestone compasses used by ancient Chinese navigators demonstrate practical application of magnetic principles for navigation and orientation. These devices show that ancient peoples understood magnetic field behavior, magnetic declination, and the relationship between magnetism and geographical direction. How did ancient peoples discover and develop practical applications of magnetic principles without modern understanding of electromagnetic theory? Where did they acquire knowledge of magnetic field behavior that enabled them to create functional magnetic instruments? The sophistication of ancient magnetic technology suggests scientific knowledge that exceeds our expectations. The electromagnetic properties exhibited by certain ancient structures raise even more intriguing questions about ancient understanding of electromagnetic phenomena. Some ancient sites demonstrate measurable electromagnetic anomalies that suggest intentional manipulation of electromagnetic fields. Were ancient peoples aware of electromagnetic phenomena and their potential applications? Did they develop technologies that utilized electromagnetic principles for purposes that we don't understand? The electromagnetic properties of ancient sites suggest knowledge of physical principles that we associate with modern physics. But electromagnetic mysteries represent just one facet of ancient achievements that seem to involve understanding of advanced physical principles. Evidence of ancient knowledge of chemistry and materials science raises questions about how sophisticated chemical processes were developed. The precision of ancient metallurgy, the sophistication of ancient pharmaceutical preparations, and the advanced materials found in ancient artifacts all demonstrate chemical knowledge that seems remarkably sophisticated for ancient time periods. Ancient peoples developed chemical processes that we can barely replicate today. The Damascus steel produced by ancient smiths demonstrates metallurgical techniques that create materials with properties we struggle to achieve with modern methods. The steel exhibits patterns, strength, and flexibility that result from chemical processes we don't fully understand. How did ancient metallurgists develop such sophisticated chemical knowledge without modern understanding of molecular structure and chemical reactions? Where did they acquire knowledge of material science that enabled them to create superior materials? The precision of ancient chemistry suggests scientific knowledge that we're struggling to explain. The pharmaceutical knowledge demonstrated in ancient medical texts shows understanding of chemical interactions, dosage calculations, and drug synthesis that rivals modern pharmacology. Ancient physicians could create complex drug preparations with precise therapeutic effects. The chemical sophistication of ancient pharmaceutical preparations suggests systematic research and development processes that would require advanced understanding of biochemistry and chemical synthesis. Ancient peoples apparently developed scientific approaches to chemical knowledge that we associate with modern laboratory science. Yet, chemical mysteries represent just one area where ancient achievements demonstrate scientific sophistication that challenges our assumptions. Evidence of ancient biological and agricultural knowledge raises questions about how advanced understanding of living systems was developed. The precision of ancient agricultural techniques, the sophistication of ancient medical knowledge, and the advanced understanding of biological processes demonstrated in ancient texts all suggest scientific knowledge of living systems that seems remarkably advanced for ancient time periods. Ancient agricultural systems achieved crop yields and sustainability that modern agriculture struggles to match. The terraced farming systems of the Andes, the floating gardens of ancient Mexico, and the precision irrigation systems of ancient civilizations all demonstrate understanding of ecological principles and biological processes. How did ancient farmers develop such sophisticated understanding of ecological systems without modern biological science? Where did they acquire knowledge of soil chemistry, plant biology, and ecological interactions that enabled them to create sustainable agricultural systems? The precision of ancient agriculture suggests biological knowledge that exceeds our expectations. The medical knowledge preserved in ancient texts demonstrates understanding of human physiology, disease processes, and therapeutic interventions that rivals modern medical science. Ancient physicians understood anatomical relationships, physiological functions, and biochemical processes with remarkable precision. The surgical procedures described in ancient medical texts demonstrate understanding of human anatomy and physiological processes that would require systematic study and research. Ancient medical knowledge appears to be based on empirical observation and scientific investigation rather than superstition or guesswork. How did ancient physicians develop such sophisticated understanding of human biology without modern diagnostic tools and research methods? Where did they acquire knowledge of physiological processes and anatomical relationships that enabled them to perform complex medical procedures? The sophistication of ancient medicine suggests scientific knowledge that we're struggling to understand, but biological mysteries represent just one aspect of ancient scientific achievements that challenge our understanding. Evidence of ancient psychological and consciousness research raises questions about how advanced understanding of mental processes was developed. The meditation techniques described in ancient texts, the consciousness-altering practices found in ancient cultures, and the sophisticated understanding of psychological principles demonstrated in ancient wisdom traditions all suggest knowledge of mental processes that seems remarkably advanced. Ancient peoples developed systematic approaches to consciousness, exploration, mental training, and psychological development that demonstrate understanding of neurological and psychological principles. These techniques often produce measurable changes in brain function and mental capabilities. How did ancient peoples develop such sophisticated understanding of consciousness and mental processes without modern neuroscience and psychology? Where did they acquire knowledge of brain function and mental training that enables demonstrable improvements in cognitive capabilities? The precision of ancient consciousness techniques suggests scientific knowledge that we're only beginning to understand. The consistency of consciousness-altering techniques across different ancient cultures suggests systematic knowledge of neurological and psychological principles rather than random discovery of mental training methods. Ancient peoples apparently developed scientific approaches to consciousness research that we associate with modern neuroscience. Yet consciousness mysteries represent just one area where ancient achievements demonstrate knowledge that seems to transcend normal human limitations. Evidence of ancient understanding of time and temporal mechanics raises questions about how sophisticated knowledge of time's nature was developed. Ancient calendars demonstrate understanding of astronomical cycles and temporal relationships that require precise mathematical knowledge and long-term observational data. The accuracy of ancient timekeeping systems rivals modern chronological precision. The Mayan calendar system demonstrates understanding of cosmic cycles and temporal relationships that extends thousands of years into the future with remarkable accuracy. The calendar incorporates multiple overlapping cycles that track astronomical phenomena with precision that we can verify using modern astronomical calculations. How did ancient astronomers develop such sophisticated understanding of temporal mechanics without modern instruments and theoretical frameworks? Where did they acquire knowledge of cosmic cycles and astronomical relationships that enabled them to create such precise calendrical systems? The accuracy of ancient timekeeping suggests temporal knowledge that exceeds our expectations. The philosophical understanding of time demonstrated in ancient texts suggests that ancient peoples may have developed concepts of temporal mechanics that we're only now beginning to explore through modern physics. Ancient wisdom traditions describe time relationships and temporal phenomena that parallel concepts in modern theoretical physics. Did ancient peoples understand aspects of time's nature that we're only now discovering through quantum mechanics and relativity theory? Were there ancient investigations of temporal phenomena that anticipated modern scientific discoveries about time's fundamental properties? The sophistication of ancient temporal concepts suggests knowledge that challenges our assumptions about ancient intellectual capabilities. But temporal mysteries represent just one facet of ancient achievements that seem to involve understanding of fundamental physical principles. Evidence of ancient knowledge of space and dimensional relationships raises equally perplexing questions about ancient understanding of reality's structure. Ancient architectural achievements demonstrate understanding of spatial relationships and dimensional principles that seem to anticipate concepts from modern geometry and physics. The precision of ancient geometric constructions suggests knowledge of dimensional mathematics that we associate with advanced mathematical theory. The sacred geometry found in ancient structures incorporates mathematical relationships and spatial principles that demonstrate understanding of dimensional mechanics and geometric relationships. These patterns appear consistently across different cultures and time periods with precision that suggests systematic knowledge rather than accidental discovery. How did ancient architects develop such sophisticated understanding of dimensional relationships without modern mathematical tools and geometric theory? Where did they acquire knowledge of spatial mechanics that enabled them to create such precise geometric constructions? The sophistication of ancient geometry suggests mathematical knowledge that we're struggling to explain. The dimensional relationships embedded in ancient structures often incorporate concepts that parallel discoveries in modern mathematics and physics. Ancient geometric patterns demonstrate understanding of dimensional mechanics that seems to anticipate modern theoretical frameworks. Were ancient peoples aware of dimensional principles that we're only now discovering through advanced mathematics and theoretical physics? Did they develop geometric knowledge that anticipated modern scientific understanding of space's fundamental properties? The precision of ancient dimensional knowledge suggests intellectual capabilities that exceed our assumptions about ancient mathematical understanding. As we near the conclusion of our exploration through these 50 archaeological mysteries, the cumulative weight of evidence becomes overwhelming. Across every field of human knowledge and capability, we find ancient achievements that challenge our fundamental assumptions about the linear progression of human development. The precision of ancient engineering, the sophistication of ancient science, the advanced nature of ancient technology, and the remarkable scope of ancient knowledge all point to capabilities that seem impossible for their supposed time periods. Yet the evidence is undeniable, preserved in stone, metal, and written records that continue to perplex modern researchers. These mysteries force us to confront uncomfortable questions about our understanding of human history and capability. Were there ancient civilizations that achieved levels of knowledge and technology that we've underestimated or entirely missed? Have we lost understanding and capabilities that were once common knowledge among our ancestors? The consistency of advanced achievements across different cultures and time periods suggests that sophisticated knowledge was more widespread in the ancient world than we realize. The global distribution of similar technologies, mathematical concepts, and scientific understanding implies communication and knowledge-sharing networks that connected ancient civilizations in ways we don't understand. Perhaps most significantly, these mysteries challenge us to reconsider our assumptions about human potential itself. If our ancestors could achieve such remarkable things with the resources and knowledge available to them, what does this tell us about the fundamental capabilities of human consciousness and creativity? The ancient achievements we've explored tonight demonstrate that human beings have always been capable of transcending apparent limitations and achieving things that seem impossible. They show us that innovation, discovery, and breakthrough achievement are fundamental aspects of human nature that have expressed themselves throughout history. These archaeological mysteries also serve as a humbling reminder of how much we still don't know about our own past and potential. They show us that knowledge can be lost as well as gained, that civilizations can fall and take their understanding with them, and that we may be rediscovering capabilities that were once well known to our ancestors. The implications extend far beyond archaeology into fundamental questions about consciousness, knowledge, and human potential. These mysteries suggest that the boundaries of what we consider possible may be far more flexible than we assume, and that human capability may extend into realms that we're only beginning to explore. As we face the challenges of our own time, these ancient achievements offer both inspiration and guidance. They show us that human beings have consistently found ways to overcome seemingly impossible obstacles and achieve remarkable things. They remind us that innovation and breakthrough discovery are possible even when the path forward seems unclear. The 50 archaeological mysteries we've explored represent far more than historical curiosities or unexplained phenomena. They represent evidence of human achievement, creativity, and potential that continues to inspire and challenge us today. They connect us to our ancestors and remind us that we are part of a species capable of extraordinary accomplishment. Most importantly, these mysteries remind us that the story of human achievement is far from over. Just as our ancestors pushed the boundaries of what seemed possible in their time, we have the opportunity to continue that tradition of discovery, innovation, and breakthrough achievement. The ancient world still holds countless secrets waiting to be discovered. Each new archaeological find has the potential to revolutionize our understanding of human history and capability. The mysteries continue to multiply, the questions continue to deepen, and the sense of wonder continues to grow. As we conclude this journey through 50 of archaeology's most perplexing mysteries, we're left with a profound appreciation for the remarkable achievements of our ancestors, and a renewed sense of excitement about the discoveries that may still lie ahead. The past continues to surprise us, the present continues to challenge us, and the future continues to hold unlimited potential for discovery and achievement. These mysteries remind us that we are part of an ongoing story of human achievement that spans thousands of years and continues to unfold today. They challenge us to remain curious, to keep questioning our assumptions, and to stay open to possibilities that might transform our understanding of what it means to be human. The archaeological record holds countless more secrets waiting to be uncovered, and each new discovery brings us closer to understanding the full scope of human achievement while simultaneously revealing new mysteries to explore. The journey of discovery continues, the questions multiply, and the wonder never ends. In the end, these 50 archaeological mysteries serve as a testament to the enduring power of human curiosity, creativity, and capability. They remind us that our ancestors achieved remarkable things that continue to inspire awe and challenge our understanding. They connect us to a heritage of achievement that spans millennia and inspire us to continue pushing the boundaries of what we believe is possible. The mysteries continue, the discoveries await, and the story of human achievement keeps unfolding. Our ancestors left us puzzles that challenge our understanding and inspire our imagination. Now it's our turn to add new chapters to this remarkable story of human discovery, achievement, and wonder. Yet, as we delve deeper into these archaeological enigmas, we encounter evidence that suggests some ancient achievements may have involved understanding of forces and phenomena that extend beyond conventional physics and known natural laws. These discoveries challenge not only our assumptions about ancient capabilities but our understanding of reality itself. Certain ancient sites exhibit measurable anomalies in gravitational fields, magnetic properties, and electromagnetic radiation that cannot be explained through conventional geological or archaeological processes. These locations seem to have been deliberately chosen or modified to enhance or focus natural energy phenomena in ways that we don't understand. The precise positioning of megalithic structures often correlates with unusual geophysical properties that suggest ancient peoples possessed sophisticated understanding of terrestrial energy systems. They appear to have identified and utilized natural energy concentrations that modern science is only beginning to detect and measure. How did ancient peoples identify these subtle energy phenomena without modern detection equipment? What techniques did they use to locate and harness natural energy concentrations that we can barely measure with sophisticated instruments? The precision of ancient site selection suggests sensitivity to environmental energies that exceeds our current scientific understanding. The construction techniques used at these sites often seem designed to amplify or focus the natural energy properties of their locations. Ancient builders incorporated specific materials, geometric patterns, and structural configurations that appear to enhance the site's unusual energy characteristics. The megalithic structures at these locations demonstrate engineering approaches that seem specifically designed to interact with subtle environmental energies. The builders used materials and construction techniques that suggest intentional manipulation of forces that we don't fully understand. Were ancient engineers aware of energy phenomena that conventional science hasn't recognized? Did they develop technologies that utilized natural forces in ways that we haven't discovered? The sophistication of ancient energy engineering suggests knowledge of physical principles that challenge our current scientific models. But energy mysteries represent just one aspect of ancient achievements that seem to transcend conventional understanding. Evidence of ancient healing and therapeutic technologies raises questions about how sophisticated medical applications were developed using principles that we don't recognize. Ancient healing sites demonstrate measurable therapeutic effects that cannot be explained through conventional medical or psychological mechanisms. People visiting these locations report significant health improvements and healing experiences that seem to involve environmental factors we don't understand. The therapeutic properties of certain ancient structures appear to result from specific combinations of location, materials, geometry, and construction techniques that create healing environments through unknown mechanisms. These sites consistently produce beneficial effects that suggest intentional therapeutic design. How did ancient healers identify and develop therapeutic environments that produce measurable healing effects? What principles did they use to create healing spaces that work through mechanisms we don't recognize? The effectiveness of ancient healing sites suggests medical knowledge that extends beyond conventional understanding. The precision required to create consistently effective healing environments indicates systematic understanding of therapeutic principles and environmental factors that influence human health and well-being. Ancient healing practitioners apparently possessed knowledge of subtle factors that affect healing processes. The global distribution of similar healing techniques and therapeutic approaches suggests that ancient medical knowledge included understanding of healing principles that were widely known but are now lost to modern medicine. These techniques often produce results that seem impossible according to conventional medical understanding. Did ancient healers understand aspects of human physiology and healing processes that modern medicine hasn't discovered? Were there therapeutic technologies that utilized natural forces and environmental factors in ways that we haven't recognized? The effectiveness of ancient healing approaches suggests medical knowledge that challenges current scientific paradigms. Yet healing mysteries represent just one area where ancient achievements seem to involve forces beyond conventional understanding. Evidence of ancient consciousness technologies raises questions about how sophisticated understanding of mental and spiritual phenomena was developed. Ancient meditation techniques, consciousness-altering practices, and spiritual technologies demonstrate understanding of mental processes and consciousness phenomena that seem to anticipate discoveries in modern neuroscience and consciousness research. These practices often produce measurable changes in brain function and mental capabilities. The precision of ancient consciousness techniques suggests systematic understanding of neurological processes and mental training methods that enable remarkable improvements in cognitive function, perception, and mental control. These approaches often achieve results that seem impossible according to conventional psychology. How did ancient consciousness researchers develop such sophisticated understanding of mental processes without modern neuroscience and brain imaging technology? What techniques did they use to map consciousness phenomena and develop effective mental training methods? The precision of ancient consciousness technologies suggests knowledge of mental processes that exceeds current scientific understanding. The consistency of consciousness-altering techniques across different ancient cultures suggests that sophisticated understanding of mental phenomena was more widespread than we realize. Ancient peoples apparently developed scientific approaches to consciousness research that produced reliable and repeatable results. The effectiveness of ancient consciousness technologies often seems to involve environmental factors, specific locations, and architectural features that enhance or focus mental processes in ways that we don't understand. Ancient consciousness researchers apparently understood relationships between environment and mental function that modern science is only beginning to investigate. Were there ancient technologies that could enhance or modify consciousness using principles that we haven't discovered? Did ancient researchers understand aspects of mental function and consciousness that modern neuroscience hasn't recognized? The sophistication of ancient consciousness research suggests knowledge that challenges our current understanding of mental processes. But consciousness mysteries represent just one facet of ancient achievements that seem to transcend normal limitations. Evidence of ancient communication with non-human intelligences raises questions about the scope and nature of ancient knowledge acquisition. Ancient texts from around the world describe interactions with beings that possessed advanced knowledge and technological capabilities far exceeding those of human civilizations. These accounts often include detailed descriptions of technologies, scientific principles, and capabilities that seem impossible for their supposed time periods. The consistency of these accounts across different cultures and time periods suggests that ancient peoples may have had access to sources of knowledge and information that we don't understand. The technical accuracy and sophisticated understanding demonstrated in these ancient texts often exceeds what we would expect from purely human sources. How did ancient peoples acquire detailed knowledge of advanced technologies and scientific principles that seem beyond their supposed capabilities? Were there sources of information and instruction that provided ancient civilizations with knowledge that they couldn't have developed independently? The sophistication of ancient knowledge suggests acquisition methods that we don't understand. The technical descriptions found in ancient texts often include precise details about technologies and scientific principles that weren't supposedly discovered until thousands of years later. These accounts demonstrate understanding of advanced concepts that seem impossible without access to sophisticated knowledge sources. The global distribution of similar advanced knowledge across ancient cultures suggests systematic sharing of sophisticated information through means that we don't recognize. Ancient civilizations apparently had access to knowledge transmission methods that connected them to sources of advanced understanding. Did ancient peoples have contact with intelligences that possessed advanced technological and scientific knowledge? Were there information sources that provided ancient civilizations with understanding that exceeded their independent developmental capabilities? The sophistication of ancient knowledge suggests contact with advanced intelligences that we don't acknowledge. Yet contact mysteries represent just one aspect of ancient achievements that challenge conventional understanding. Evidence of ancient transportation and travel technologies raises questions about how sophisticated mobility capabilities were developed. Ancient accounts describe transportation methods that seem to involve principles beyond conventional mechanical engineering. These descriptions often include detailed technical specifications for vehicles and travel systems that demonstrate understanding of advanced propulsion and navigation principles. The precision of ancient geographical knowledge suggests transportation capabilities that enabled global exploration and mapping with accuracy that seems impossible without advanced travel technologies. Ancient peoples apparently possessed mobility systems that allowed rapid and precise movement across vast distances. How did ancient peoples develop transportation technologies that enabled global exploration and precise geographical mapping? What propulsion and navigation principles did they use to achieve mobility capabilities that seem impossible with conventional mechanical systems? The scope of ancient geographical knowledge suggests transportation technologies that exceed our assumptions about ancient capabilities. The consistency of geographical accuracy across ancient maps and texts suggests that sophisticated transportation technologies were available to multiple ancient civilizations. These capabilities apparently enabled regular long-distance travel and communication that connected ancient peoples across global distances. The technical descriptions of ancient transportation systems often include details about propulsion methods, navigation systems, and vehicle capabilities that demonstrate understanding of advanced engineering principles. These accounts suggest technologies that utilized forces and principles that we don't fully understand. Were there ancient transportation technologies that utilized propulsion principles that conventional engineering hasn't recognized? Did ancient peoples develop mobility systems that exceeded the capabilities of mechanical transportation? The scope of ancient travel achievements suggests transportation technologies that challenge our current understanding of propulsion and navigation. But transportation mysteries represent just one area where ancient achievements seem to involve advanced technologies. Evidence of ancient environmental control and weather modification capabilities raises questions about how sophisticated atmospheric and climatic manipulation was developed. Ancient texts describe technologies and techniques for controlling weather patterns, modifying atmospheric conditions, and influencing climatic phenomena with precision that seems impossible without advanced atmospheric science and weather control technologies. The agricultural achievements of ancient civilizations often seem to involve environmental control capabilities that enabled optimal growing conditions regardless of natural climatic variations. Ancient farmers apparently possessed techniques for modifying local weather and atmospheric conditions to enhance agricultural productivity. How did ancient peoples develop environmental control technologies that enabled weather modification and atmospheric manipulation? What principles did they use to influence climatic phenomena and create optimal environmental conditions? The agricultural success of ancient civilizations suggests environmental control capabilities that exceed our current weather modification technologies. The precision of ancient environmental control appears to have enabled civilizations to thrive in locations and climatic conditions that would normally be unsuitable for large-scale agriculture and urban development. Ancient peoples apparently possessed technologies that could overcome natural environmental limitations. The global evidence of ancient environmental modification suggests that weather control and atmospheric manipulation technologies were available to multiple ancient civilizations. These capabilities apparently enabled remarkable agricultural and urban achievements in challenging environmental conditions. Did ancient peoples understand atmospheric physics and climatic systems in ways that enabled precise weather control and environmental modification? Were there technologies that could influence atmospheric conditions using principles that modern meteorology hasn't discovered? The environmental achievements of ancient civilizations suggest atmospheric control capabilities that challenge our current understanding of weather systems. Yet environmental control mysteries represent just one facet of ancient technological achievements that seem impossible for their time periods. Evidence of ancient energy generation and power distribution systems raises questions about how sophisticated electrical and power technologies were developed. Ancient sites often exhibit evidence of electrical generation, power distribution, and energy utilization systems that seem to involve principles beyond conventional electrical engineering. These installations demonstrate understanding of energy production and distribution that appears remarkably advanced. The precision of ancient electrical systems suggests sophisticated understanding of power generation, voltage regulation, and energy distribution that enabled complex technological applications. Ancient peoples apparently possessed electrical technologies that could support advanced technological civilizations. How did ancient engineers develop electrical generation and power distribution systems without modern understanding of electrical theory and power engineering? What energy sources and distribution methods did they use to create reliable electrical power systems? The sophistication of ancient electrical installations suggests power technologies that exceed our assumptions about ancient capabilities. The evidence of ancient electrical systems often includes components and installations that demonstrate understanding of advanced electrical principles and power engineering concepts. These systems appear to have been designed for applications that required reliable and precisely controlled electrical power. The global distribution of ancient electrical evidence suggests that power generation and distribution technologies were available to multiple ancient civilizations. These capabilities apparently enabled technological applications that required sophisticated electrical systems and precise power control. Were there ancient power technologies that utilized energy sources and generation principles that conventional electrical engineering hasn't recognized? Did ancient peoples develop electrical systems that exceeded the capabilities of mechanical and chemical power sources? The evidence of ancient electrical installations suggests power technologies that challenge our current understanding of energy generation and distribution. But power generation mysteries represent just one aspect of ancient technological achievements that seem to transcend conventional limitations. Evidence of ancient manufacturing and production technologies raises questions about how sophisticated industrial capabilities were developed. Ancient artifacts demonstrate manufacturing precision and production techniques that seem to require industrial equipment and mass production capabilities that we associate with modern manufacturing technology. The quality and consistency of ancient manufactured goods suggests sophisticated industrial processes. The precision of ancient manufacturing often exceeds what we can achieve with modern production techniques. Ancient craftsmen apparently possessed manufacturing technologies that enabled production of goods with quality and precision that rivals or exceeds contemporary manufacturing capabilities. How did ancient manufacturers develop industrial production techniques that achieved such remarkable precision and quality? What manufacturing technologies did they use to create goods with consistency and sophistication that seems impossible without modern industrial equipment? The quality of ancient manufactured goods suggests industrial capabilities that exceed our assumptions about ancient production methods. The evidence of ancient mass production includes artifacts that demonstrate standardization, quality control, and production efficiency that suggest systematic industrial processes. Ancient manufacturers apparently possessed production technologies that enabled large-scale manufacturing with remarkable consistency and quality. The global distribution of similar manufactured goods suggests that ancient industrial technologies were available to multiple civilizations and enabled trade and distribution networks that connected ancient peoples across vast distances. These production capabilities apparently supported complex economic and technological systems. Did ancient peoples develop manufacturing technologies that utilized production principles and industrial methods that conventional manufacturing hasn't recognized? Were there ancient production systems that achieved manufacturing capabilities that exceeded mechanical and manual production methods? The sophistication of ancient manufactured goods suggests industrial technologies that challenge our current understanding of production capabilities. Yet manufacturing mysteries represent just one area where ancient achievements demonstrate technological sophistication that seems impossible for their supposed time periods. Evidence of ancient information processing and computational technologies raises questions about how sophisticated data management and calculation systems were developed. Ancient civilizations demonstrate information processing capabilities that seem to require computational technologies and data management systems that we associate with modern computer science and information technology. The precision and scope of ancient data processing suggests sophisticated computational capabilities. The mathematical and astronomical calculations preserved in ancient texts often require computational power and data processing capabilities that seem impossible without electronic computers and advanced calculation technologies. Ancient peoples apparently possessed computational systems that enabled complex data analysis and mathematical processing. How did ancient civilizations develop computational technologies that enabled such sophisticated data processing and mathematical calculation? What information processing systems did they use to manage complex databases and perform advanced calculations? The precision of ancient computational achievements suggests information technologies that exceed our assumptions about ancient data processing capabilities. The evidence of ancient information systems often includes data storage, retrieval, and processing methods that demonstrate understanding of information science and computational principles. These systems appear to have been designed for applications that required sophisticated data management and processing capabilities. The global consistency of computational accuracy across ancient civilizations suggests that information processing technologies were widely available and enabled systematic data analysis and mathematical calculation on a global scale. These capabilities apparently supported complex administrative, scientific, and technological systems. Were there ancient computational technologies that utilized information processing principles and data management methods that conventional computer science hasn't recognized? Did ancient peoples develop information systems that exceeded the capabilities of mechanical calculation and manual data processing? The sophistication of ancient computational achievements suggests information technologies that challenge our current understanding of data processing capabilities. As we approach the ultimate conclusions of our journey through these 50 remarkable archaeological mysteries, the implications become staggering in their scope and significance. The cumulative evidence points to ancient human civilizations that achieved technological, scientific, and intellectual capabilities that not only exceed our previous assumptions but challenge our fundamental understanding of human history and potential. Every field of human endeavor that we've explored tonight reveals ancient achievements that seem impossible for their supposed time periods. From precision engineering and advanced manufacturing to sophisticated science and remarkable technologies, our ancestors consistently demonstrated capabilities that we struggle to explain or replicate even with our modern knowledge and tools. The global consistency of these achievements across different cultures, time periods, and geographical locations suggests that advanced knowledge and sophisticated technologies were far more widespread in the ancient world than we ever imagined. The coordination and communication required for such widespread technological and intellectual achievement implies civilizational capabilities that revolutionize our understanding of ancient human societies. Perhaps most significantly, these mysteries challenge us to reconsider our assumptions about the nature of knowledge itself. The sophistication and accuracy of ancient understanding in fields ranging from astronomy and mathematics to medicine and engineering suggests that our ancestors had access to information and insights that we're still struggling to rediscover. The precision of ancient achievements often seems to anticipate or exceed modern scientific discoveries, suggesting that ancient peoples understood aspects of reality that we're only now beginning to explore. Their knowledge appears to have encompassed not only practical technologies but fundamental insights into the nature of consciousness, energy, and the structure of reality itself. These archaeological mysteries force us to confront the possibility that human civilization has followed a far more complex path than simple linear progression from primitive to advanced. The evidence suggests cycles of achievement and loss, periods of remarkable advancement followed by civilizational collapse and knowledge disappearance. The implications extend far beyond historical curiosity into fundamental questions about human potential and the nature of consciousness itself. If our ancestors could achieve such remarkable things, what does this tell us about the untapped capabilities that might exist within human consciousness and creativity? These mysteries also serve as a humbling reminder of how much we still don't know about our own past, our capabilities, and the nature of reality itself. They show us that knowledge can be lost as well as gained, that entire civilizations can disappear along with their understanding and technologies. The 50 archaeological mysteries we've explored tonight represent just a small fraction of the evidence that challenges our conventional understanding of human history and capability. Each discovery raises more questions than it answers, suggesting that our knowledge of ancient achievements remains fundamentally incomplete. Yet these mysteries also offer profound inspiration and hope. They show us that human beings have consistently transcended apparent limitations and achieved things that seemed impossible. They demonstrate that innovation, discovery, and breakthrough achievement are fundamental aspects of human nature that have expressed themselves throughout history. The ancient achievements we've encountered tonight remind us that we are part of a species capable of extraordinary accomplishment. They connect us to a heritage of human achievement that spans thousands of years and continues to inspire wonder and challenge our understanding of what's possible. Most importantly, these mysteries remind us that the story of human achievement is far from over. Just as our ancestors pushed the boundaries of what seemed possible in their time, we have the opportunity and responsibility to continue that tradition of discovery, innovation, and breakthrough achievement. The archaeological record continues to yield new discoveries that challenge our assumptions and expand our understanding of ancient capabilities. Each new find has the potential to revolutionize our knowledge of human history and reveal new aspects of human potential that we haven't recognized. As we face the challenges and opportunities of our own time, these ancient achievements offer both guidance and inspiration. They show us that human consciousness and creativity can overcome seemingly impossible obstacles and achieve remarkable things that transform our understanding of what's possible. The mysteries continue to multiply, the questions continue to deepen, and the sense of wonder continues to grow. Our ancestors left us a legacy of achievement that challenges our understanding and inspires our imagination. They accomplished things that we're still struggling to explain and created wonders that continue to amaze us thousands of years later. The 50 archaeological mysteries we've explored tonight stand as testament to the remarkable potential of human consciousness and creativity. They remind us that we are part of an ongoing story of discovery and achievement that spans millennia and continues to unfold today. These mysteries challenge us to remain curious, to keep questioning our assumptions, and to stay open to possibilities that might transform our understanding of reality itself. They inspire us to continue pushing the boundaries of knowledge and capability, following in the footsteps of ancestors who achieved truly extraordinary things. The journey of discovery continues, the mysteries await exploration, and the potential for breakthrough achievement remains unlimited. Our ancestors showed us what's possible when human consciousness and creativity are fully engaged. Now it's our turn to add new chapters to this remarkable story of human achievement and wonder. The archaeological mysteries continue to challenge us, inspire us, and remind us that there is always more to discover, more to understand, and more to achieve. The story of human potential is still being written, and these ancient mysteries remind us that the most extraordinary chapters might still lie ahead. But beyond the individual mysteries we've explored, there emerges a pattern so profound and unsettling that it demands our immediate attention. The evidence suggests that ancient civilizations possessed not just isolated advanced technologies, but entire integrated systems of knowledge that operated on principles we've yet to comprehend. These weren't primitive societies stumbling upon occasional innovation. These were sophisticated civilizations with systematic understanding of forces and phenomena that remain beyond our current scientific paradigm. The coordinated nature of ancient achievements across vast geographical distances and supposed time periods reveals something extraordinary about the connectivity and communication capabilities of our ancestors. How did civilizations separated by thousands of miles and allegedly hundreds of years develop virtually identical technologies and knowledge systems? The precision and consistency of these parallels cannot be explained by coincidence or independent discovery. The mathematical constants embedded in ancient monuments and artifacts demonstrate knowledge of cosmic relationships and universal principles that we're only now beginning to recognize. These weren't approximate calculations or lucky guesses. Ancient builders incorporated precise mathematical relationships that reveal deep understanding of the fundamental structure of reality itself. Their knowledge appears to have encompassed not just practical engineering but the underlying mathematical principles that govern cosmic phenomena. The astronomical alignments found in ancient sites worldwide demonstrate observational capabilities and predictive accuracy that seem impossible without sophisticated instruments and computational systems. Ancient peoples tracked celestial movements with precision that exceeds what we can achieve without modern telescopes and computers. Their astronomical knowledge encompassed not just visible celestial bodies but cosmic cycles and relationships that require advanced understanding of astrophysics and celestial mechanics. The metallurgical achievements of ancient civilizations reveal understanding of material science and chemical processes that challenge our assumptions about the development of scientific knowledge. Ancient smiths created alloys and metalworking techniques that we struggle to replicate even with modern equipment and scientific understanding. Their knowledge of materials appears to have included principles of atomic structure and chemical bonding that weren't supposed to be discovered until centuries later. The medical knowledge preserved in ancient texts describes anatomical understanding and therapeutic techniques that demonstrate sophisticated knowledge of human physiology and disease processes. Ancient physicians performed procedures and prescribed treatments that reveal understanding of biological systems and healing mechanisms that we're still investigating. Their medical knowledge appears to have encompassed not just observable symptoms but the underlying biological processes that govern health and disease. The agricultural achievements of ancient peoples reveal understanding of soil chemistry, plant genetics, and ecological systems that enabled remarkable productivity and sustainability. Ancient farmers developed crop varieties and farming techniques that achieved yields and nutritional quality that we struggle to match with modern industrial agriculture. Their agricultural knowledge appears to have included understanding of genetic manipulation and ecosystem management that anticipated modern biotechnology and environmental science. The architectural accomplishments of ancient builders demonstrate understanding of structural engineering, material science, and construction techniques that enabled monuments and buildings of unprecedented scale and durability. Ancient architects created structures that have survived for millennia, while modern buildings require constant maintenance and eventual replacement. Their construction knowledge appears to have included principles of structural dynamics and material behavior that we're still discovering. The artistic achievements of ancient peoples reveal understanding of human psychology, aesthetic principles, and creative techniques that produced works of enduring beauty and emotional impact. Ancient artists created masterpieces that continue to inspire and move us thousands of years after their creation. Their artistic knowledge appears to have included understanding of consciousness and perception that anticipated modern insights into human psychology and neuroscience. The linguistic accomplishments of ancient civilizations demonstrate understanding of communication theory, symbolic systems, and information encoding that enabled complex and precise transmission of knowledge across generations. Ancient languages incorporated grammatical structures and symbolic relationships that reveal sophisticated understanding of how information can be encoded, transmitted, and preserved. Their linguistic knowledge appears to have included principles of information theory and cognitive science that we're only now beginning to explore. Yet perhaps the most profound mystery of all lies not in any specific ancient achievement, but in the apparent disappearance of so much advanced knowledge and capability. How did civilizations that possessed such sophisticated understanding and remarkable technologies simply vanish, leaving only tantalizing traces of their achievements? What catastrophic events or processes could cause the systematic loss of knowledge and capability on such a massive scale? The archaeological record suggests multiple cycles of advancement and collapse, periods of remarkable achievement followed by civilizational breakdown and knowledge disappearance. These patterns appear to be global phenomena that affected multiple civilizations simultaneously, suggesting causes beyond local conflicts or natural disasters. The scope and timing of these collapses imply forces and events that we don't fully understand. The preservation of certain types of knowledge, while others completely disappeared, suggests selective survival based on factors we haven't identified. Why do some ancient achievements survive in recognizable form, while others exist only as mysterious traces and unexplained phenomena? The patterns of knowledge, preservation, and loss reveal principles of cultural transmission and survival that challenge our understanding of how civilizations maintain and lose their capabilities. The recurring themes and consistent principles found across different ancient civilizations suggest underlying knowledge systems that transcended individual cultures and geographical boundaries. These weren't isolated discoveries but components of integrated understanding that was shared across vast networks of ancient peoples. The coordination required for such widespread knowledge sharing implies communication and transportation capabilities that revolutionize our understanding of ancient civilizational connectivity. The sophisticated symbolism and encoded information found in ancient art, architecture, and texts suggest systematic methods for preserving and transmitting knowledge across generations and cultures. Ancient peoples appear to have developed encoding systems that embedded complex information in monuments, artifacts, and cultural practices that could survive even catastrophic civilizational collapse. These preservation methods reveal understanding of information theory and cultural transmission that we're still learning to decode. The precision timing and astronomical correlations found in ancient sites suggest coordination of construction and cultural activities based on cosmic cycles and celestial events. Ancient civilizations appear to have operated according to temporal frameworks and scheduling systems that encompassed not just local seasonal cycles but cosmic relationships and astronomical phenomena. Their timekeeping knowledge reveals understanding of temporal relationships and cosmic cycles that anticipated modern insights into space-time and cosmology. The energy anomalies and electromagnetic phenomena associated with ancient sites suggest technological applications and power systems that operated on principles beyond conventional physics. Ancient installations appear to have been designed to harness, focus, and utilize energy sources and electromagnetic effects that we're still investigating. Their energy technologies reveal understanding of forces and phenomena that challenge our current scientific paradigms. The consciousness-altering effects and psychological impacts reported at ancient sites suggest understanding of human awareness and mental states that enabled systematic exploration of consciousness and perception. Ancient peoples appear to have developed techniques and technologies that could induce specific mental states and consciousness experiences for educational, therapeutic, and spiritual purposes. Their consciousness technologies reveal understanding of human psychology and awareness that anticipated modern insights into neuroscience and consciousness studies. The healing properties and therapeutic effects associated with ancient sites and artifacts suggest understanding of biological processes and healing mechanisms that enabled systematic treatment of disease and enhancement of human health and capability. Ancient healing technologies appear to have operated on principles that encompassed not just physical symptoms but the underlying biological and energetic processes that govern health and vitality. Their medical technologies reveal understanding of human biology and healing that transcends conventional medicine. The transportation achievements and long-distance connectivity demonstrated by ancient civilizations suggest mobility technologies and navigation systems that enabled regular travel and communication across global distances. Ancient peoples appear to have possessed transportation capabilities that allowed routine travel between continents and coordination of activities across vast geographical areas. Their transportation technologies reveal understanding of navigation and propulsion that challenges our assumptions about ancient mobility limitations. The communication technologies and information networks that enabled coordination of ancient achievements suggest systematic methods for transmitting complex information across vast distances and time periods. Ancient civilizations appear to have developed communication systems that allowed real-time coordination of construction projects, sharing of scientific knowledge, and maintenance of cultural practices across global networks. Their communication technologies reveal understanding of information transmission and network coordination that anticipated modern telecommunications and information theory. The manufacturing precision and production capabilities demonstrated by ancient artifacts suggest industrial technologies and quality control systems that enabled mass production of goods with remarkable consistency and sophistication. Ancient manufacturers appear to have possessed production capabilities that allowed systematic creation of complex artifacts with precision that rivals or exceeds modern manufacturing standards. Their industrial technologies reveal understanding of production processes and quality control that challenges our assumptions about ancient manufacturing limitations. The environmental modification and ecological management demonstrated by ancient civilizations suggest understanding of natural systems and environmental control that enabled systematic manipulation of landscapes and climatic conditions. Ancient peoples appear to have possessed environmental technologies that allowed large-scale modification of ecosystems, weather patterns, and geographical features to support their civilizational needs. Their environmental technologies reveal understanding of ecological systems and environmental control that anticipated modern insights into environmental science and climate management. The weapons technologies and defensive systems developed by ancient civilizations suggest understanding of physics and engineering that enabled creation of military capabilities far beyond conventional weapons and fortifications. Ancient military technologies appear to have included energy weapons, force field systems, and defensive installations that operated on principles beyond conventional physics and engineering. Their military technologies reveal understanding of forces and phenomena that challenge our current understanding of weapon systems and defensive capabilities. The space-related achievements and astronomical observations of ancient peoples suggest understanding of cosmic phenomena and space-related technologies that enabled systematic exploration and utilization of space-based resources and capabilities. Ancient space technologies appear to have included navigation systems, communication methods, and possibly even transportation capabilities that allowed interaction with space-based phenomena and celestial bodies. Their space technologies reveal understanding of cosmic relationships and space-based phenomena that anticipated modern space science and astronomy. The time-related phenomena and temporal anomalies associated with ancient sites suggest understanding of time and temporal relationships that enabled systematic manipulation of temporal phenomena and possibly even time travel capabilities. Ancient time technologies appear to have included methods for temporal measurement, prediction, and possibly manipulation that operated on principles beyond conventional physics and our current understanding of time and causality. Their temporal technologies reveal understanding of time and temporal relationships that challenges our fundamental assumptions about the nature of time itself. The consciousness expansion and mental enhancement capabilities demonstrated by ancient civilizations suggest understanding of human potential and consciousness development that enabled systematic enhancement of human mental and psychic capabilities. Ancient consciousness technologies appear to have included methods for expanding awareness, enhancing mental abilities, and accessing forms of knowledge and perception that transcend normal human limitations. Their consciousness technologies reveal understanding of human potential and mental development that challenges our assumptions about the limits of human capability. The reality manipulation and dimensional access capabilities suggested by certain ancient achievements indicate understanding of the fundamental structure of reality that enabled systematic interaction with alternative dimensions and manipulation of physical laws. Ancient reality technologies appear to have included methods for accessing parallel dimensions, manipulating physical constants, and interacting with forms of existence that transcend our current understanding of reality itself. Their reality technologies reveal understanding of existence and consciousness that revolutionizes our conception of what's possible. But perhaps the most staggering implication of these ancient mysteries lies not in their individual sophistication, but in what they collectively reveal about the true scope of human potential and the nature of consciousness itself. The consistent demonstration of capabilities that transcend apparent physical limitations suggests that consciousness and awareness possess properties and potentials that we've barely begun to explore. The ancient achievements we've encountered throughout this investigation consistently point to understanding and capabilities that seem to operate beyond the constraints of conventional physics and known natural laws. These aren't isolated anomalies or measurement errors. These are systematic demonstrations of principles and capabilities that challenge our fundamental assumptions about the nature of reality and the limits of what's possible. The precision and consistency of ancient achievements across different civilizations and time periods suggest that advanced understanding and remarkable capabilities are not aberrations, but natural expressions of human potential when properly developed and applied. Our ancestors appear to have achieved things that we consider impossible because they understood aspects of reality and consciousness that we've forgotten or haven't yet rediscovered. The global distribution and coordinated nature of ancient achievements suggest that advanced civilizations were not isolated phenomena but part of worldwide networks of knowledge and capability that encompassed the entire planet. The scope and scale of ancient accomplishments imply civilizational capabilities that far exceed our current understanding of what ancient societies could achieve. The technological sophistication and scientific understanding demonstrated by ancient peoples consistently exceed what we assume was possible for their supposed time periods. Their achievements reveal knowledge and capabilities that we associate with far more advanced civilizations, suggesting that our timeline of human development and technological progress is fundamentally flawed. The integration and systematic nature of ancient knowledge suggests that our ancestors possessed comprehensive understanding of reality that encompassed not just isolated discoveries, but complete worldviews and knowledge systems that integrated scientific, technological, and consciousness-based understanding into unified comprehension of existence itself. The survival and preservation of ancient knowledge through catastrophic civilizational collapses suggest understanding of information preservation and transmission that enabled critical knowledge to survive even the most devastating disasters and social upheavals. Ancient peoples appear to have developed methods for encoding and preserving essential understanding that could survive the complete destruction of their civilizations. The recovery and rediscovery of ancient knowledge in modern times suggest that this understanding remains accessible and relevant to contemporary human development and scientific advancement. The continued relevance and applicability of ancient insights indicate that fundamental principles of reality and consciousness remain constant across time and continue to offer guidance for human development and achievement. The implications of ancient achievements for modern human potential suggest that capabilities we consider extraordinary or impossible may actually be natural expressions of consciousness and awareness that can be developed and applied by anyone willing to explore and develop their inherent potential. Our ancestors may have achieved remarkable things not because they were fundamentally different from us, but because they understood and developed aspects of human potential that we've forgotten or neglected. The consciousness-expanding effects of studying and contemplating ancient mysteries suggest that engagement with these achievements can actually stimulate and enhance our own capabilities and understanding. The process of investigating ancient accomplishments appears to activate dormant potentials and expand awareness in ways that enable us to comprehend and possibly replicate aspects of ancient understanding and capability. The transformative impact of recognizing ancient achievements on our conception of human potential and reality itself suggests that these discoveries are not merely historical curiosities but catalysts for consciousness expansion and capability development that can revolutionize human civilization and individual human development in the present moment. The ongoing discovery and investigation of ancient mysteries continues to reveal new aspects of human potential and reality that challenge our assumptions and expand our understanding of what's possible. Each new discovery has the potential to revolutionize our comprehension of existence and stimulate breakthrough achievements that transform human civilization and individual human capability. The acceleration of ancient mystery discoveries in recent decades suggests that we're entering a period of unprecedented revelation and understanding that will completely transform our knowledge of human history, potential, and the nature of reality itself. The rate and significance of new discoveries indicate that we're approaching a threshold of understanding that will revolutionize human civilization. The integration of ancient wisdom with modern scientific understanding suggests the possibility of developing new forms of knowledge and capability that combine the best of ancient insight with contemporary scientific methodology. This synthesis could enable breakthrough achievements that surpass both ancient accomplishments and modern technological capabilities by integrating consciousness-based understanding with scientific precision and technological application. The global awakening to ancient mysteries and their implications suggest that humanity is collectively preparing for a renaissance of understanding and capability that will restore and exceed the achievements of our ancestors, while developing entirely new forms of human potential and civilizational capability. We appear to be entering an era where the rediscovery of ancient wisdom catalyzes unprecedented human development and achievement. The responsibility that comes with recognizing ancient achievements and their implications for human potential demands that we approach this knowledge with wisdom, humility, and commitment to using enhanced understanding and capability for the benefit of all humanity and the planet itself. The power revealed by ancient mysteries must be developed and applied with consciousness and ethical responsibility that ensures positive outcomes for all existence. The opportunity presented by ancient mysteries to transcend current limitations and develop extraordinary capabilities comes with the obligation to use enhanced understanding and ability to solve humanity's greatest challenges and support the evolution of consciousness and civilization toward greater harmony, wisdom, and capability. These achievements offer not just personal development opportunities but the potential to transform human civilization itself. The future implications of ancient mystery investigation and the development of capabilities they reveal suggest that we're approaching a transformation of human civilization that will integrate ancient wisdom with contemporary understanding to create forms of knowledge and capability that transcend both historical achievements and current scientific limitations. We stand at the threshold of a renaissance that could revolutionize human existence itself. The ultimate significance of the 50 archaeological mysteries we've explored extends far beyond historical investigation or intellectual curiosity. These discoveries reveal that human consciousness and potential possess dimensions and capabilities that we've barely begun to explore, and that our ancestors achieved things that demonstrate the extraordinary possibilities that exist within human nature itself. The journey through these mysteries has revealed not just ancient achievements but contemporary opportunities for consciousness expansion and capability development that can transform individual lives and collective human civilization. The investigation of ancient accomplishments becomes a catalyst for personal and collective awakening to potentials that exist within us right now. The mysteries continue to multiply and deepen, but so does our understanding of their implications and our recognition of the opportunities they represent for human development and achievement. Each discovery opens new possibilities for consciousness expansion and capability development that can be explored and developed by anyone willing to engage with these profound revelations about human potential. The archaeological record continues to yield discoveries that challenge our assumptions and expand our understanding, but more importantly, these revelations continue to stimulate awakening to potentials that exist within human consciousness itself. The external mysteries point to internal possibilities that can be explored and developed through dedicated investigation and consciousness expansion practices. The 50 mysteries we've explored represent just the beginning of discoveries that will continue to revolutionize our understanding of human potential and the nature of reality itself. The journey of discovery has no limits, and the opportunities for consciousness expansion and capability development continue to multiply as our understanding deepens and our awareness expands. The ancient achievements stand as eternal reminders that human consciousness possesses extraordinary potential that can be developed and applied to create remarkable achievements and transform both individual lives and collective human civilization. Our ancestors showed us what's possible. Now it's our opportunity to explore and develop these same potentials within ourselves and our contemporary world. The mysteries call us to adventure, discovery, and the development of capabilities that can transform our understanding of existence itself and enable achievements that seemed impossible until we recognize the extraordinary potential that exists within human consciousness. The investigation continues, the possibilities expand, and the opportunities for breakthrough achievement and consciousness development remain unlimited. These 50 archaeological mysteries reveal that we are inheritors of a legacy of human achievement that transcends our wildest imagination and demonstrates possibilities that remain available to us today. The journey of discovery and development continues, and the most extraordinary achievements may still lie ahead as we learn to develop and apply the remarkable potentials that our ancestors demonstrated were possible for human consciousness and creativity. The exploration of these mysteries transforms not just our understanding of the past, but our conception of present possibilities and future potentials. Each discovery becomes a catalyst for consciousness expansion and capability development that can revolutionize both individual lives and collective human achievement. The investigation of ancient mysteries becomes a journey of self-discovery and consciousness expansion that reveals extraordinary potentials within human nature itself. The external discoveries point to internal possibilities that can be explored and developed by anyone willing to engage with the profound implications of these revelations about human potential and the nature of reality. The 50 archaeological mysteries we've explored tonight stand as testament to the unlimited potential of human consciousness and the extraordinary achievements that become possible when we recognize and develop the remarkable capabilities that exist within human nature itself. The journey continues, the mysteries multiply, and the opportunities for breakthrough achievement and consciousness expansion remain boundless. The ancient mysteries remind us that we are capable of far more than we imagine, that consciousness possesses potentials we've barely begun to explore, and that the most extraordinary achievements in human history may serve as inspiration and guidance for even greater accomplishments that await our discovery and development in the present moment and beyond. The investigation of these mysteries becomes a transformative journey that reveals not just ancient achievements but contemporary opportunities for consciousness expansion and capability development that can revolutionize human civilization and enable achievements that transcend even the remarkable accomplishments of our ancestors. The ultimate message of these 50 archaeological mysteries is that human potential remains unlimited. Consciousness continues to evolve, and the most extraordinary chapters of human achievement and discovery may still lie ahead as we learn to recognize and develop the remarkable capabilities that exist within human consciousness itself. The journey of discovery continues, the mysteries deepen, and the opportunities for transformation and achievement expand with each new revelation about the extraordinary potential that exists within human consciousness and the unlimited possibilities that await our exploration and development, the continuing adventure of human consciousness and achievement. But as we stand at this threshold of understanding, confronted by the overwhelming evidence of ancient achievements that challenge everything we thought we knew about human history and capability, we must ask ourselves the most profound question of all: what does this mean for us today? How do these revelations about our ancestors' extraordinary accomplishments transform our understanding of what we ourselves might be capable of achieving? The answer emerges not from academic speculation but from direct engagement with the implications of what we've discovered. These ancient mysteries aren't just historical curiosities or intellectual puzzles to be solved and filed away. They are active catalysts for consciousness expansion and capability development that can transform our lives and our world in the present moment. Every mystery we've explored points to the same fundamental truth. Human consciousness possesses potentials and capabilities that far exceed what we've been taught to believe is possible. Our ancestors didn't achieve extraordinary things because they were fundamentally different from us, but because they understood and developed aspects of human potential that we've forgotten, neglected, or been conditioned to believe don't exist. The precision engineering that enabled ancient builders to create monuments with mathematical accuracy that we struggle to achieve with modern equipment reveals that human consciousness can interface with matter and energy in ways that transcend conventional understanding of physics and engineering. This isn't just about ancient construction techniques. This is about the potential for consciousness to directly influence and manipulate physical reality through focused intention and understanding. The advanced astronomical knowledge that allowed ancient peoples to predict celestial events with extraordinary accuracy reveals that human consciousness can access information and understanding that transcends the limitations of physical observation and measurement. This isn't just about ancient observational capabilities. This is about the potential for consciousness to directly perceive and comprehend cosmic relationships and universal principles through expanded awareness and intuitive understanding. The sophisticated medical knowledge that enabled ancient physicians to perform procedures and prescribe treatments that we're still trying to understand reveals that human consciousness can access healing wisdom and therapeutic understanding that transcends conventional medical education research. This isn't just about ancient medical practices. This is about the potential for consciousness to directly perceive and influence biological processes through expanded awareness and healing intention. The remarkable artistic achievements that continue to inspire and move us thousands of years after their creation reveal that human consciousness can access creative inspiration and aesthetic understanding that transcends individual experience and cultural conditioning. This isn't just about ancient artistic techniques. This is about the potential for consciousness to directly channel creative expression and aesthetic beauty through expanded awareness and artistic intuition. The advanced mathematical knowledge embedded in ancient monuments and calculations reveals that human consciousness can access mathematical understanding and computational capability that transcends conventional education and analytical thinking. This isn't just about ancient mathematical knowledge. This is about the potential for consciousness to directly perceive and work with mathematical relationships and numerical principles through expanded awareness and intuitive computation. The sophisticated agricultural achievements that enabled ancient peoples to create sustainable and productive farming systems reveals that human consciousness can access ecological wisdom and environmental understanding that transcends conventional agricultural science and environmental management. This isn't just about ancient farming techniques. This is about the potential for consciousness to directly perceive and work with natural systems through expanded awareness and ecological intuition. The extraordinary transportation achievements that enabled ancient peoples to travel vast distances and maintain global communication networks reveals that human consciousness can access mobility capabilities and navigation understanding that transcends conventional transportation technology and geographical limitations. This isn't just about ancient transportation methods. This is about the potential for consciousness to transcend physical limitations and access expanded mobility capabilities through enhanced awareness and dimensional understanding. The advanced metallurgical achievements that enabled ancient smiths to create alloys and materials we struggle to replicate reveals that human consciousness can access material science understanding and atomic manipulation capability that transcends conventional chemistry and materials engineering. This isn't just about ancient metalworking techniques. This is about the potential for consciousness to directly perceive and influence atomic and molecular structures through expanded awareness and material intuition. The remarkable energy technologies that enabled ancient civilizations to harness and utilize power sources we don't fully understand reveals that human consciousness can access energy awareness and power generation capability that transcends conventional physics and electrical engineering. This isn't just about ancient energy systems. This is about the potential for consciousness to directly perceive and work with energy fields and power sources through expanded awareness and energetic understanding. The sophisticated information processing achievements that enabled ancient peoples to manage complex databases and perform advanced calculations reveals that human consciousness can access computational capability and data management understanding that transcends conventional computer science and information technology. This isn't just about ancient information systems. This is about the potential for consciousness to directly process and analyze information through expanded awareness and computational intuition. Each of these revelations points to the same extraordinary conclusion: human consciousness is not limited to the narrow band of capabilities that conventional education and cultural conditioning would have us believe. We possess dormant potentials and undeveloped capabilities that our ancestors understood and utilized to achieve things that seem impossible by today's standards. The systematic nature of ancient achievements across multiple fields of endeavor reveals that these weren't isolated discoveries or lucky accidents. Ancient peoples possessed comprehensive understanding of consciousness development and capability enhancement that enabled systematic exploration and development of human potential in all areas of life and achievement. The global distribution and coordinated nature of ancient accomplishments reveals that consciousness expansion and capability development were not limited to isolated individuals or cultures, but were widespread phenomena that suggest systematic methods for human development and achievement were available to entire civilizations. The preservation and transmission of ancient knowledge through cultural practices, symbolic systems, and encoded information reveals that consciousness expansion techniques and capability development methods were systematically preserved and transmitted across generations to ensure that this understanding would remain available even through catastrophic civilizational collapses. The correlation between consciousness expanding practices and remarkable achievements throughout ancient civilizations reveals that the development of extraordinary capabilities was directly linked to specific methods and techniques for expanding awareness and developing human potential that can be studied, understood, and applied by contemporary seekers. The consistency of consciousness-related themes across different ancient cultures and traditions reveals universal principles and methods for human development and capability enhancement that transcend cultural differences and remain relevant and applicable regardless of time period or geographical location. The integration of consciousness development with practical achievement in ancient civilizations reveals that expanded awareness and enhanced capability were not abstract philosophical concepts, but practical tools for accomplishing remarkable things in the physical world and solving real-world challenges and problems. The emphasis on consciousness expansion in ancient educational systems and cultural practices reveals that human development and capability enhancement were considered fundamental aspects of education and civilization that were systematically cultivated and developed as essential components of human achievement and social progress. The documentation of consciousness expansion techniques in ancient texts and traditions reveals specific methods and practices that were used to develop extraordinary capabilities and achieve remarkable accomplishments that can be studied, understood, and applied by contemporary practitioners and researchers. The archaeological evidence of consciousness expanding technologies and installations at ancient sites reveals that expanded awareness and enhanced capability were supported by environmental modifications and technological systems designed to facilitate human development and achievement through consciousness expansion and capability enhancement. The correlation between ancient consciousness expansion practices and modern scientific discoveries about human potential reveals that contemporary research in fields like neuroscience, psychology, and consciousness studies is rediscovering and validating understanding and techniques that were systematically developed and applied by ancient civilizations. The effectiveness of reconstructed ancient consciousness expansion techniques in contemporary applications reveals that this understanding remains valid and applicable for modern human development and capability enhancement, suggesting that ancient methods can be successfully integrated with contemporary knowledge and technology. The transformative effects experienced by modern practitioners of ancient consciousness expansion techniques reveals that these methods can produce measurable improvements in human capability and achievement that validate the extraordinary accomplishments of ancient civilizations and suggest similar potentials exist within contemporary human beings. The acceleration of human development and achievement that results from applying ancient consciousness expansion principles reveals that these techniques can dramatically enhance contemporary capability and accomplishment in ways that transcend conventional educational and training methods. The breakthrough achievements that emerge from combining ancient consciousness expansion understanding with modern knowledge and technology reveals that the integration of ancient wisdom with contemporary science can produce capabilities and accomplishments that exceed both ancient achievements, modern technological limitations. The expanding community of practitioners who are successfully applying ancient consciousness expansion techniques reveals that this understanding is not limited to isolated individuals, but can be systematically developed and applied by anyone willing to engage with these methods and principles. The documented cases of extraordinary capability development through ancient consciousness expansion practices reveals that remarkable achievements are not limited to historical figures but remain available to contemporary individuals who are willing to explore and develop their inherent potential through systematic consciousness expansion and capability enhancement. The measurable improvements in human performance that result from ancient consciousness expansion training reveals that these techniques produce quantifiable enhancements in cognitive function, creative ability, problem-solving capability, and achievement potential that can be scientifically validated and systematically developed. The profound life transformations experienced by practitioners of ancient consciousness expansion methods reveals that these techniques can produce fundamental changes in human capability and achievement that revolutionize both individual lives and collective human potential in ways that were demonstrated by ancient civilizations. The exponential growth in capability and achievement that results from sustained practice of ancient consciousness expansion techniques reveals that human potential is not fixed or limited but can be systematically developed and enhanced far beyond conventional assumptions about human capability and achievement. The breakthrough discoveries and innovations that emerge from consciousness-expanded states reveals that enhanced awareness provides access to information, understanding, and creative inspiration that can produce achievements and accomplishments that transcend conventional limitations and expectations. The collective transformation that results from widespread application of ancient consciousness expansion principles reveals that these techniques can produce civilizational changes and social progress that match or exceed the remarkable achievements of ancient civilizations while addressing contemporary challenges and opportunities. The integration of ancient consciousness expansion wisdom with modern scientific methodology reveals that comprehensive human development and capability enhancement can be achieved through systematic application of validated techniques and principles that combine the best of ancient understanding with contemporary knowledge and technology. The unlimited potential for growth and development that emerges from serious engagement with ancient consciousness expansion principles reveals that human achievement and capability have no fixed limits but can be continuously expanded and enhanced through dedicated practice and systematic development of consciousness and awareness. The profound sense of connection and purpose that results from understanding and applying ancient consciousness expansion wisdom reveals that human development and achievement are not isolated, individual pursuits, but integral aspects of collective human evolution and cosmic consciousness. Development that connect us with the deepest purposes and potentials of existence itself. The recognition that ancient achievements were expressions of developed human potential rather than supernatural phenomena reveals that extraordinary capability and remarkable achievement are natural expressions of consciousness and awareness that can be systematically developed and applied by anyone willing to engage with the necessary methods and principles. The understanding that consciousness expansion and capability development are ongoing processes rather than fixed states reveals that human potential is continuously evolving and expanding, suggesting that the most extraordinary achievements may still lie ahead as we continue to explore and develop the unlimited possibilities that exist within human consciousness and awareness. The realization that ancient mysteries are not problems to be solved but potentials to be developed reveals that engagement with these discoveries becomes a transformative journey of consciousness expansion and capability development that can revolutionize both individual lives and collective human achievement in ways that honor and extend the remarkable legacy of our ancestors. The recognition that we are inheritors of a tradition of human achievement that spans millennia and continues to evolve reveals that contemporary consciousness expansion and capability development are not new discoveries but the continuation of an ancient tradition of human development and achievement that connects us with the deepest purposes and potentials of human existence. The understanding that the investigation of ancient mysteries becomes a catalyst for contemporary consciousness expansion reveals that these discoveries are not merely historical investigations but active invitations to explore and develop the same potentials that enabled our ancestors to achieve extraordinary things that continue to inspire and challenge us. The realization that consciousness expansion and capability development are not abstract concepts, but practical methods for achieving remarkable things, reveals that ancient wisdom provides concrete techniques and principles that can be applied to contemporary challenges and opportunities for achievement and accomplishment. The recognition that human potential is unlimited in consciousness continues to evolve, reveals that the most extraordinary achievements in human history may serve as inspiration and foundation for even greater accomplishments that await our discovery and development in the continuing adventure of human consciousness expansion and achievement. As we conclude this extraordinary journey through 50 of the most profound archaeological mysteries that continue to challenge our understanding of human history and potential, we find ourselves not at an ending but at a beginning. These discoveries have revealed not just ancient achievements but contemporary opportunities for consciousness expansion and capability development that can transform our lives and our world. The mysteries we've explored tonight stand as eternal invitations to adventure, discovery, and the development of extraordinary capabilities that remain available to anyone willing to explore the unlimited potential that exists within human consciousness itself. Our ancestors showed us what's possible when human potential is fully developed and applied. Now it's our turn to continue this remarkable tradition of achievement and discovery. The journey continues, the mysteries multiply, and the opportunities for breakthrough achievement and consciousness expansion remain boundless. The most extraordinary chapters of human accomplishment may still lie ahead as we learn to recognize, develop, and apply the remarkable potentials that exist within human consciousness and awareness. The ancient mysteries call us to awaken to possibilities we never imagined, to develop capabilities we didn't know we possessed, and to achieve things that seemed impossible until we recognized the extraordinary potential that exists within human nature itself. The investigation continues, the adventure unfolds, and the unlimited possibilities of human consciousness and achievement await our exploration and development. These 50 archaeological mysteries remind us that we are capable of far more than we imagine, that consciousness possesses potentials we've barely begun to explore, and that the most remarkable achievements in human history serve as inspiration and guidance for even greater accomplishments that await our discovery in the endless adventure of human consciousness, potential, and achievement. The journey of consciousness expansion through ancient mystery investigation reveals layers of understanding that extend far beyond intellectual comprehension into direct experiential knowing that transforms our very perception of reality and possibility. Each mystery becomes a doorway into expanded awareness that opens new vistas of understanding and capability that were previously hidden from conventional consciousness and scientific investigation. The transformative power of engaging with these ancient achievements lies not in passive observation but in active participation in the consciousness expansion process that these discoveries naturally stimulate and facilitate. The very act of contemplating these extraordinary accomplishments begins to activate dormant neural pathways and consciousness potentials that have remained undeveloped in contemporary human beings due to cultural conditioning and educational limitations. The resonance between ancient achievements and expanded consciousness creates a feedback loop of understanding and development that accelerates human potential in ways that can be measured and documented through careful observation and systematic investigation. As we open our minds to the reality of ancient accomplishments that seem impossible by current standards, we simultaneously open ourselves to the possibility of developing similar capabilities through consciousness expansion and dedicated practice. The neuroplasticity research conducted in modern laboratories validates what ancient civilizations understood intuitively. Human consciousness and capability are not fixed limitations, but dynamic potentials that can be systematically developed and enhanced through specific practices, environmental conditions. The brain's ability to create new neural connections and develop enhanced capabilities throughout life provides the biological foundation for understanding how ancient peoples could achieve extraordinary things through consciousness development practices. The correlation between meditation practices, consciousness expansion techniques, and enhanced human performance reveals the practical mechanisms through which ancient achievements became possible. Modern research into contemplative practices demonstrates measurable improvements in cognitive function, creative ability, problem-solving capability, and even physical performance that suggest systematic consciousness development can produce the types of enhanced capabilities demonstrated by ancient civilizations. The electromagnetic field research conducted at ancient sites reveals environmental conditions that appear specifically designed to facilitate consciousness expansion and enhance human capability. The precise electromagnetic frequencies detected at megalithic sites correlate with brainwave patterns associated with enhanced creativity, expanded awareness, and accelerated learning, suggesting that ancient peoples understood how to create environmental conditions that optimized human potential development. The acoustic properties discovered at ancient ceremonial sites reveal sophisticated understanding of sound frequencies and resonance effects that can induce specific consciousness states and facilitate enhanced mental and physical capabilities. The precise acoustic engineering found in ancient temples and sacred sites demonstrates knowledge of how sound and vibration can be used to optimize human performance and consciousness development through systematic environmental design. The geometric patterns and mathematical relationships embedded in ancient architecture reveal understanding of how specific spatial configurations and proportional relationships can influence consciousness and enhance human capability. The sacred geometry found in ancient monuments appears to create environmental conditions that naturally facilitate consciousness expansion and capability development through systematic application of mathematical principles. The astronomical alignments and celestial correlations built into ancient sites reveal understanding of how cosmic cycles and celestial events influence human consciousness and capability. The precise timing of ancient ceremonies and activities according to astronomical events suggests that our ancestors understood how to harness cosmic energies and celestial influences to optimize human development and achievement. The botanical knowledge and plant medicine traditions preserved in ancient cultures reveal sophisticated understanding of how specific plants and natural compounds can facilitate consciousness expansion and enhance human capability. The systematic use of consciousness-expanding plants in ancient ceremonial contexts suggests comprehensive knowledge of how botanical allies can accelerate human development and enable extraordinary achievements. The breathwork techniques and respiratory practices documented in ancient traditions reveal understanding of how specific breathing patterns can alter consciousness and enhance human capability. The precise breathing methods preserved in ancient yogic and shamanic traditions demonstrate knowledge of how respiratory control can systematically develop expanded awareness and enhanced performance capabilities. The movement practices and physical disciplines developed by ancient cultures reveal understanding of how specific bodily movements and postures can facilitate consciousness expansion and enhance human potential. The martial arts, dance traditions, and physical practices preserved from ancient civilizations demonstrate systematic methods for developing both physical and mental capabilities through integrated mind-body training. The dietary practices and nutritional understanding documented in ancient cultures reveal knowledge of how specific foods and eating patterns can optimize consciousness and enhance human capability. The systematic dietary recommendations found in ancient health traditions suggest comprehensive understanding of how nutrition can support consciousness development and capability enhancement through systematic lifestyle practices. The social structures and community practices developed by ancient civilizations reveal understanding of how collective consciousness and group dynamics can amplify individual capabilities and facilitate extraordinary collective achievements. The systematic organization of ancient societies around consciousness development principles suggests knowledge of how social environments can optimize human potential and enable remarkable civilizational accomplishments. The educational systems and knowledge transmission methods developed by ancient cultures reveal understanding of how information can be effectively conveyed and consciousness can be systematically developed through specific teaching and learning practices. The mystery schools and initiation systems preserved from ancient civilizations demonstrate sophisticated methods for developing human potential and transmitting advanced knowledge across generations. The artistic traditions and creative practices developed by ancient peoples reveal understanding of how aesthetic expression and creative engagement can facilitate consciousness expansion and enhance human capability. The systematic use of art, music, and creative practices in ancient cultures suggests knowledge of how creative expression can accelerate human development and enable extraordinary achievements. The healing traditions and therapeutic practices preserved from ancient civilizations reveal understanding of how consciousness and intention can influence physical health and biological processes. The systematic healing methods documented in ancient medical traditions demonstrate knowledge of how expanded awareness and focused intention can produce measurable therapeutic effects and enhance human vitality. The divination systems and intuitive practices developed by ancient cultures reveal understanding of how consciousness can access information and knowledge beyond conventional sensory perception. The systematic development of psychic abilities and intuitive capabilities in ancient traditions suggests knowledge of how human awareness can transcend normal limitations and access expanded sources of information and understanding. The timekeeping systems and temporal understanding demonstrated by ancient civilizations reveal knowledge of how consciousness interacts with time and temporal phenomena. The sophisticated calendrical systems and temporal measurements developed by ancient peoples suggest understanding of how consciousness can perceive and work with temporal relationships in ways that transcend conventional linear time perception. The navigation systems and spatial orientation capabilities demonstrated by ancient travelers reveal understanding of how consciousness can access directional information and spatial awareness beyond conventional mapping and measurement. The extraordinary navigation abilities documented in ancient maritime and overland travel suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can provide access to spatial information and directional guidance. The memory systems and information storage techniques developed by ancient cultures reveal understanding of how consciousness can store, organize, and retrieve vast amounts of information without external technological assistance. The extraordinary memory capabilities documented in ancient bardic and scholarly traditions suggest knowledge of how human awareness can systematically develop enhanced cognitive capabilities. The problem-solving methodologies and analytical approaches developed by ancient peoples reveal understanding of how consciousness can access creative solutions and innovative approaches to complex challenges. The systematic problem-solving techniques preserved in ancient philosophical and practical traditions suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can generate breakthrough insights and revolutionary solutions. The leadership systems and organizational principles developed by ancient civilizations reveal understanding of how consciousness and intention can influence collective behavior and coordinate large-scale projects and achievements. The extraordinary organizational capabilities demonstrated by ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can facilitate effective leadership and enable remarkable collective accomplishments. The technological innovations and engineering solutions developed by ancient peoples reveal understanding of how consciousness can interface with physical reality and material processes in ways that transcend conventional technological approaches. The systematic technological achievements documented in ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can facilitate direct interaction with matter and energy. The agricultural innovations and ecological management practices developed by ancient cultures reveal understanding of how consciousness can interface with natural systems and biological processes to optimize productivity and sustainability. The extraordinary agricultural achievements documented in ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can facilitate direct communication and cooperation with natural systems. The manufacturing techniques and production methods developed by ancient peoples reveal understanding of how consciousness can influence material processes and production outcomes through intention and awareness. The systematic manufacturing achievements documented in ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can enhance material manipulation and production capabilities. The communication systems and information transmission methods developed by ancient cultures reveal understanding of how consciousness can transcend conventional limitations of distance and time in conveying information and coordinating activities. The extraordinary communication capabilities demonstrated by ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can facilitate direct information transmission and coordination. The transportation innovations and mobility solutions developed by ancient peoples reveal understanding of how consciousness can transcend conventional physical limitations and access enhanced movement capabilities. The systematic transportation achievements documented in ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can facilitate extraordinary mobility and travel capabilities. The energy systems and power generation methods developed by ancient cultures reveal understanding of how consciousness can interface with energy fields and harness natural forces through intention and awareness. The extraordinary energy achievements documented in ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can facilitate direct energy manipulation and utilization. The defensive systems and protection methods developed by ancient peoples reveal understanding of how consciousness can influence protective fields and defensive capabilities through intention and awareness. The systematic defensive achievements documented in ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can facilitate enhanced protection and security capabilities. The ceremonial systems and ritual practices developed by ancient cultures reveal understanding of how consciousness can be systematically expanded and enhanced through specific activities and environmental conditions. The extraordinary ceremonial achievements documented in ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how ritual practice can facilitate consciousness development and capability enhancement. The symbolic systems and encoding methods developed by ancient peoples reveal understanding of how consciousness can process and transmit complex information through symbolic representation and coded communication. The systematic symbolic achievements documented in ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can facilitate enhanced information processing and transmission capabilities. The philosophical systems and worldview frameworks developed by ancient cultures reveal understanding of how consciousness relates to fundamental reality and universal principles. The extraordinary philosophical achievements documented in ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can provide access to deep understanding of existence and reality. The mathematical systems and computational methods developed by ancient peoples reveal understanding of how consciousness can process numerical relationships and mathematical principles through direct perception and intuitive calculation. The systematic mathematical achievements documented in ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can facilitate enhanced computational and analytical capabilities. The scientific methodologies and investigation techniques developed by ancient cultures reveal understanding of how consciousness can access knowledge and understanding through direct observation and experiential investigation. The extraordinary scientific achievements documented in ancient civilizations suggest knowledge of how expanded awareness can facilitate enhanced observational and analytical capabilities. The integration of all these various capabilities and achievements into comprehensive civilizational systems reveals that ancient peoples possessed holistic understanding of human potential and consciousness development that enabled systematic cultivation of extraordinary capabilities across all areas of life and achievement. The systematic nature of ancient accomplishments suggests comprehensive knowledge of how consciousness can be developed and applied to transcend apparent limitations and achieve remarkable things. The consistency of consciousness-based approaches across different ancient civilizations and time periods reveals universal principles and methods for human development that transcend cultural differences and remain applicable regardless of technological context or social organization. The systematic similarity of ancient achievements suggests fundamental understanding of consciousness and human potential that represents universal knowledge rather than isolated cultural discoveries. The preservation of consciousness development knowledge, through various cultural transmission methods, reveals systematic understanding of how essential information can be maintained and transmitted across generations and civilizational changes. The successful preservation of ancient wisdom suggests sophisticated knowledge of information encoding and cultural transmission that ensures important understanding remains available even through catastrophic social and environmental changes. The activation of consciousness development potential through engagement with ancient mysteries reveals that this understanding remains accessible and applicable to contemporary human beings who are willing to explore and develop their inherent capabilities. The systematic activation of enhanced capabilities through ancient mystery investigations suggests that consciousness development knowledge remains dormant but available within human potential and can be systematically awakened and developed. The acceleration of human development through application of ancient consciousness expansion principles reveals that these techniques can produce rapid and dramatic improvements in human capability and achievement that far exceed conventional educational and training methods. The systematic effectiveness of ancient development approaches suggests that consciousness-based human enhancement represents the most efficient and powerful method for developing extraordinary capabilities. The multiplication of human potential through systematic consciousness development reveals that enhanced capabilities build upon each other to create exponential increases in achievement and accomplishment that transcend linear progression models. The systematic compounding of consciousness development effects suggests that comprehensive human enhancement can produce capabilities that exceed the sum of individual improvements. The transformation of worldview and life experience through consciousness development reveals that enhanced awareness produces fundamental changes in perception and understanding that revolutionize both individual capability and collective achievement potential. The systematic transformation effects of consciousness development suggest that expanded awareness represents the foundation for all extraordinary human achievement and civilizational advancement. The recognition of unlimited human potential through consciousness development reveals that apparent limitations and boundaries are products of conditioning and belief rather than actual constraints on human capability and achievement. The systematic transcendence of assumed limitations through consciousness expansion suggests that human potential is essentially unlimited and can be continuously developed and enhanced. The understanding that consciousness development is the foundation of all extraordinary achievement reveals that ancient accomplishments represent systematic application of consciousness expansion principles rather than supernatural phenomena, or unexplained anomalies. The systematic basis of ancient achievements in consciousness development suggests that similar capabilities remain available to contemporary human beings through dedicated practice and systematic development. The realization that consciousness expansion is an ongoing process rather than a final destination reveals that human development and capability enhancement represent continuous evolution rather than fixed states or ultimate achievements. The systematic nature of consciousness development suggests that human potential continues to evolve and expand indefinitely through dedicated engagement with consciousness expansion practices and principles. The integration of ancient wisdom with contemporary knowledge reveals that the most effective approach to human development combines traditional consciousness expansion, understanding with modern scientific methodology and technological support. The systematic integration of ancient and modern approaches suggests that comprehensive human enhancement requires both consciousness development and technological assistance working together synergistically. The application of integrated consciousness development approaches to contemporary challenges reveals that enhanced human capabilities can address and solve problems that seem impossible through conventional methods and approaches. The systematic effectiveness of consciousness-enhanced problem-solving suggests that expanded awareness provides access to solutions and capabilities that transcend normal human limitations and conventional technological approaches. The collective transformation that results from widespread consciousness development reveals that enhanced human capabilities can produce civilizational changes and social progress that transcend current limitations and enable unprecedented human achievement and advancement. The systematic potential for collective consciousness development suggests that widespread human enhancement can revolutionize civilization itself and enable extraordinary collective accomplishments. The recognition that we are entering a period of unprecedented consciousness development opportunity reveals that contemporary conditions and resources provide unique advantages for human enhancement and capability development that exceed what was available to previous generations. The systematic advantages of contemporary consciousness development suggest that we have access to the most powerful combination of ancient wisdom and modern resources for human enhancement in history. The understanding that consciousness development is both individual and collective process reveals that personal enhancement and civilizational advancement are interconnected phenomena that support and amplify each other through systematic interaction and mutual reinforcement. The systematic interconnection of individual and collective development suggests that comprehensive human enhancement requires both personal practice and collective engagement with consciousness expansion principles. The realization that consciousness development is accelerating and intensifying reveals that we are approaching a threshold of human enhancement and capability development that will produce unprecedented advances in human achievement and civilizational capability. The systematic acceleration of consciousness development suggests that we are entering a period of exponential human advancement that will revolutionize both individual lives and collective human civilization. The recognition that ancient mysteries serve as catalysts for contemporary consciousness development reveals that engagement with these discoveries provides practical methods and inspiration for developing the same extraordinary capabilities that our ancestors achieved through systematic consciousness expansion. The systematic catalytic effect of ancient mystery investigation suggests that these discoveries represent active tools for human enhancement rather than merely historical curiosities. The understanding that consciousness development requires both individual commitment and systematic approach reveals that extraordinary capability development demands dedicated practice and comprehensive methodology rather than casual interest or sporadic effort. The systematic requirements of consciousness development suggest that significant human enhancement requires sustained engagement with proven principles and methods over extended periods of time. The realization that consciousness development produces measurable and verifiable improvements in human capability reveals that enhanced awareness and expanded potential can be scientifically validated and systematically documented through careful observation and measurement. The systematic measurability of consciousness development effects suggests that human enhancement can be approached with scientific rigor and validated through empirical investigation. The recognition that consciousness development is available to anyone willing to engage with the necessary practices and principles reveals that extraordinary capability enhancement is not limited to special individuals or unique circumstances, but represents universal human potential that can be systematically developed by anyone. The systematic accessibility of consciousness development suggests that enhanced human capabilities are natural potentials rather than exceptional phenomena. The understanding that consciousness development transforms both capability and character reveals that enhanced awareness produces not only improved performance but also enhanced wisdom, compassion, and ethical understanding that ensure positive application of increased capabilities. The systematic character development effects of consciousness expansion suggest that enhanced capabilities are naturally accompanied by enhanced responsibility and ethical understanding. The realization that consciousness development connects us with deeper purposes and universal principles reveals that enhanced awareness provides access not only to increased capabilities but also to profound understanding of our place in existence and our responsibility for positive contribution to cosmic evolution. The systematic connection between consciousness development and universal understanding suggests that human enhancement is part of larger evolutionary processes rather than isolated individual achievement. The recognition that consciousness development is both ancient wisdom and contemporary science reveals that enhanced awareness represents the integration of traditional understanding with modern knowledge, in ways that transcend both historical limitations and contemporary restrictions. The systematic integration of ancient and modern consciousness development suggests that comprehensive human enhancement requires both traditional wisdom and contemporary scientific validation working together. The understanding that consciousness development is the key to solving humanity's greatest challenges reveals that enhanced awareness and expanded capabilities provide the foundation for addressing global problems and advancing human civilization in ways that transcend current limitations, enable unprecedented positive transformation. The systematic problem-solving potential of consciousness development suggests that human enhancement represents the most powerful approach to creating positive change in the world. The realization that consciousness development is accelerating throughout human civilization reveals that we are witnessing a collective awakening to human potential that will produce extraordinary advances in human capability and achievement across all areas of life and endeavor. The systematic awakening to consciousness development suggests that we are entering a renaissance of human potential that will revolutionize civilization itself. The recognition that we are inheritors of an ancient tradition of consciousness development reveals that contemporary human enhancement connects us with thousands of years of wisdom and achievement, while providing opportunities to transcend even the remarkable accomplishments of our ancestors. The systematic continuity of consciousness development tradition suggests that we are part of an ongoing evolutionary process that extends from ancient achievements into unlimited future possibilities. The understanding that consciousness development is our birthright and natural potential reveals that extraordinary capabilities and remarkable achievements represent the normal expression of human nature when properly developed and applied rather than exceptional phenomena or supernatural abilities. The systematic naturalness of consciousness development suggests that enhanced human capabilities are what we were designed to achieve rather than extraordinary departures from normal human potential. The realization that consciousness development is accelerating and intensifying in our time reveals that we are approaching a transformation of human civilization that will integrate ancient wisdom with contemporary knowledge to create unprecedented opportunities for human enhancement, achievement. The systematic acceleration of consciousness development suggests that we are entering the most extraordinary period of human potential development in history. The recognition that each of us has the opportunity to participate in this consciousness development. Renaissance reveals that every individual can contribute to and benefit from the collective awakening to human potential that is transforming our civilization and creating unprecedented opportunities for achievement and advancement. The systematic opportunity for consciousness development suggests that this transformation is available to everyone rather than limited to special individuals or circumstances. The understanding that consciousness development is both personal journey and collective adventure reveals that individual enhancement and civilizational advancement are interconnected aspects of the same evolutionary process that is transforming human potential and creating unprecedented opportunities for achievement and contribution. The systematic interconnection of personal and collective development suggests that comprehensive human enhancement requires both individual commitment and collective engagement. The realization that consciousness development connects us with infinite potential reveals that enhanced awareness provides access to unlimited possibilities for growth, achievement, and contribution that transcend all apparent limitations and enable extraordinary accomplishments that seemed impossible before consciousness expansion. The systematic unlimited potential of consciousness development suggests that human capabilities have no fixed boundaries and can be continuously expanded and enhanced. The recognition that consciousness development is the greatest adventure available to human beings reveals that enhanced awareness and expanded capabilities provide the foundation for the most extraordinary and fulfilling life experiences possible, while enabling contributions that benefit all existence. The systematic adventure potential of consciousness development suggests that human enhancement represents the ultimate journey of discovery and achievement. The understanding that consciousness development transforms everything reveals that enhanced awareness produces fundamental changes in every aspect of life and experience while providing capabilities and opportunities that revolutionize both individual achievement and collective human advancement. The systematic transformative power of consciousness development suggests that human enhancement represents the most comprehensive and powerful approach to positive life change and civilizational advancement. The realization that we are standing at the threshold of unprecedented consciousness development reveals that contemporary opportunities for human enhancement exceed anything available in previous history, while providing access to capabilities and achievements that will transcend even the remarkable accomplishments of ancient civilizations. The systematic unprecedented opportunity suggests that we are entering the most extraordinary period of human potential development ever available. The recognition that consciousness development is calling us to awaken to our true potential reveals that enhanced awareness and expanded capabilities represent not just personal opportunities but cosmic responsibilities that connect us with the deepest purposes of existence and the highest possibilities of achievement and contribution. The systematic calling of consciousness development suggests that human enhancement represents our evolutionary destiny and cosmic purpose. The understanding that consciousness development is both possible and necessary reveals that enhanced awareness and expanded capabilities provide the foundation for solving humanity's greatest challenges, while enabling achievements and contributions that will benefit all existence and support the continued evolution of consciousness throughout the universe. The systematic necessity of consciousness development suggests that human enhancement represents our greatest opportunity and responsibility. The The realization that consciousness development is available right now reveals that enhanced awareness and expanded capabilities can begin immediately through engagement with proven principles and practices that have enabled extraordinary achievements throughout human history and continue to provide access to unlimited potential for growth and accomplishment. The systematic immediate availability of consciousness development suggests that human enhancement can begin this very moment for anyone willing to engage with the necessary commitment and practice. The recognition that consciousness development is the ultimate adventure reveals that enhanced awareness and expanded capabilities provide access to the most extraordinary experiences and achievements possible, while connecting us with the deepest meanings and highest purposes of existence itself. The systematic ultimate adventure potential of consciousness development suggests that human enhancement represents the greatest journey available to human consciousness. These 50 archaeological mysteries have revealed not just ancient achievements but contemporary opportunities for consciousness expansion and capability development that can transform our lives and our world in ways that honor and extend the remarkable legacy of human potential that spans millennia and continues to evolve toward ever greater possibilities of achievement and contribution. The journey continues, the mysteries multiply, and the opportunities for consciousness development and human enhancement remain unlimited. The most extraordinary chapters of human achievement may still lie ahead as we learn to recognize, develop and apply the remarkable potentials that exist within human consciousness and await our exploration and development in the endless adventure of human potential and cosmic evolution. The ancient mysteries call us not just to wonder but to awaken, not just to study but to develop, not just to admire but to achieve. The extraordinary capabilities demonstrated by our ancestors remain available to us through consciousness development and systematic enhancement of human potential. The investigation of ancient mysteries becomes a catalyst for contemporary consciousness expansion that can revolutionize both individual lives and collective human civilization. The 50 mysteries we have explored represent just the beginning of discoveries and developments that will continue to expand our understanding of human potential while providing practical methods and inspiration for achieving extraordinary capabilities and remarkable accomplishments that seem possible until we recognize the unlimited potential that exists within human consciousness itself. The ultimate message of these archaeological mysteries is that human potential is unlimited. Consciousness continues to evolve, and the most extraordinary achievements in human history serve as inspiration and foundation for even greater accomplishments that await our discovery and development in the continuing adventure of human consciousness, potential and cosmic evolution. The archaeologist's legacy lives not in definitive answers or solved puzzles, but in students whose eyes have learned to see stories written in pottery shards, whose minds have opened to the same wonder and humility that transforms ordinary excavation sites into gateways to profound human connection. This transmission happens quietly, almost invisibly, through years of patient digging and gradual awakening to voices that whisper from every artifact, every ancient wall, every burial ground that yields its secrets to those willing to listen. As evening shadows begin to fall across dig sites that have absorbed another day's careful examination, the ancient mysteries settle into twilight silence that speaks of questions without easy answers, of puzzles that prepare us for tomorrow's discoveries, of cycles within cycles that continue regardless of modern interpretation yet somehow include and welcome our conscious participation in their eternal dance of revelation and concealment. Our exploration concludes not with dramatic solutions but with gentle acceptance of mystery, like morning fog touched by strengthening curiosity, leaving behind only the subtle fragrance of possibility and the taste of wonder too precious to solve yet too compelling to abandon. We depart carrying more than facts, our very perspectives altered by exposure to enigmas and ancients that will continue working their transformative influence long after the cameras have stopped rolling. In this way, archaeology continues its patient work of awakening human consciousness to connections that have always existed but rarely been noticed in our rush toward certainty and explanation. Through careful excavation, patient analysis, and humble acknowledgement of the unknown, we discover that what we have been seeking through complex theories and distant conclusions has been waiting patiently in the artifacts themselves, available to anyone willing to slow down enough to receive what these ancient voices are constantly offering through each discovery, each mystery, each conscious moment of appreciation for the miracle of human civilization. And that brings us to the end of today's journey into 50 of archaeology's most enduring mysteries. I hope this exploration has sparked your curiosity and perhaps inspired you to look at ancient history with fresh eyes and deeper appreciation for the complexity of our shared human story. The beauty of these unsolved mysteries lies not in their exotic locations or ceremonial significance, but in their invitation to discover humility within our modern confidence. To find wonder in the reminder that despite all our technological advances, the past still holds secrets we cannot unlock. If this video captivated you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Which mystery intrigued you most? Do you have theories about any of these ancient puzzles? Have you visited any of these mysterious sites yourself? Your insights not only enrich our community but often inspire future deep dive episodes. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed this archaeological journey. It truly helps the channel grow and allows me to continue creating these comprehensive explorations of history's greatest enigmas. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you won't miss when new mystery videos are released. I'm also curious, would you like to see more content like this? Perhaps a focused episode on specific civilizations like the Indus Valley or Easter Island. Or maybe a series on archaeological hoaxes and how science separates fact from fiction. Let me know in the comments what mysteries you'd like us to investigate next. Thank you for joining me on this quest through archaeology's greatest unsolved puzzles. Until our next expedition into the unknown, may you find wonder in the mysteries that surround us every day. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and I'll see you in the next video.